drop.
Look
and
at
he
that
is
throw.
complete. That's Xavier Fuller. Touchdown, Marion Giants.
He's gone.
Thomas, and he is across midfield. One man to beat, and he's beat him down to the 20s, 10, and he is.
Well, welcome to WIWU TV and our coverage of high school football. And this week we have the Anderson Indians taking on the Marion Giants, along with Ron Vermillion. I'm Roger Alcock, and Ron, a big football game, especially for the Giants tonight, because they're 2-1 overall, but they dropped a very difficult game to Kokomo last week in the first conference game, a game they felt maybe they could have won, should have won even. And so tonight they need to even things up in the conference with a win here tonight.
They really do, and of course Anderson's 1-0. Anderson picked off Muncie Central last week, but this is Marion's best shot at having a real good team in the last 10 years. And to make sure that they have a good team, they've got to beat Anderson tonight to go 1-1 in the conference and stay with their head above sea level, so to speak, and stay in contact with the front runners.
Well, we should see two very explosive offenses tonight. Of course, the Giants are led by Justin Johnson, first-year quarterback, but he's pretty special, isn't he?
Justin Johnson did not play last year because he had some eligibility requirements that he had to meet in his move, but he has been such a super runner and passer for Marion. He's been probably about 80 to 90% of their offense. What a man that he has become, taking charge of this Marion offense at quarterback.
Well, defensively, the Giants may be led by Braden Burke, having an outstanding season already, but they expect a lot from their defense. The Giants do this year. They feel that that's a very improved unit.
Of course, Braden's father is Brian, who is the defensive coordinator, and the important thing about this is that he is all over the field. He gets into the alleys well. He plays good defense at that free safety spot, but they certainly are a team on defense. They swarm to the ball, and probably the best defense we've seen in many years at Marion High School.
All right, well, so don't go away. When we come back, Toe will meet Leather. We'll kick this one off. It's Anderson and Marion coming up next on WIWU.
Where is America's premier agricultural theme park? It's a family-friendly gem, agritourism the way it should be. It's Fair Oaks Farms, where kids of all ages learn about 21st century farming while having fun. Where else can you get ice cream made with fresh from the cow milk, climb a 25-foot milk carton, or see a cute little piglet minutes after it's born? Utterly close to farming. That's honest to goodness Indiana. Start exploring at visitindiana.com/fairoaks.
He has his eyes set on one goal, and that is to see Christ and be with him in heaven. And he writes this letter as a man in prison facing a death that could potentially come at any point in time. Every day that he wakes up, it could be his last. And he doesn't wallow in it. He doesn't focus, oh, woe is me, no. Instead, he's thinking of his fellow brothers and sisters in Christ.
All right, back here in Marion High School, Dick Luton Stadium. Roger Alcock and the coach, Ron Vermillion. And Ron, we touched on it just moments ago. Important week for the Marion Giants because of that loss last week against Kokomo. Coach Chambers told us a couple days ago when we had a chance to talk with him that they had a good week of practice. They certainly talked about Anderson, what Anderson will present, but he said he focused more on this team and getting over that loss and just doing what they have to do this week to win, and that's limit turnovers.
You know, it's not just turnovers, it's penalties. If you look at turnovers and penalties, they average one for every 3 minutes when you talk about those two put together as negatives. But certainly the positive side, they have gotten a lot of yardage and they've gotten a lot out of their defense. So I just really have felt good about what we have.
Hey, before we kick this one off, we're going to send it down to the sidelines and check in with Rachel Berry.
Thank you. defensive coordinator of Anderson, Jamar Brown. He mentioned that tonight's game will be tight and tough. They're looking for a victory tonight. He also mentioned that they've been telling their players this week that they want to play physical and keep their eyes on the quarterback the entire night and hopefully keep him away from the ball as much as possible. And back to you.
Thank you, Rachel. Earlier I talked with Marion's defensive coordinator, Brian Burke, and he said they're coming off a tough loss to Kokomo, but this game tonight's going to be a tightly contested game. Anderson has a lot of offensive weapons, and they're just going to try to stay with their system and just do what they know what to do. And he said they know they've made mistakes in the past, but they're going to look to bounce back tonight, and just it's going to be a really good game, and they're excited for it. Back to you, Roger.
All right. Thank you so much, Katie and Rachel. We'll be checking with them throughout this evening. Well, the coin has been tossed, and it looks like the Giants are going to receive the opening kickoff. And normally I know a lot of teams like to be on defense first, but I think the Giants are pretty excited or eager to get their offense out on the field tonight.
The offense didn't click so much last week, and just 14 points from them. They had a chance for more, but just didn't get it because of mistakes and penalties. But I think what he wants to do is see something new out of his offense, see what this what we can do on the kickoff return and get good field position, and then go down and really convince Anderson that it's a futile attempt to play very good defense against him.
Well, J.K. Thomas and Braden Burke will be back deep to receive the kick for the Giants. Before I kick this one off again, two teams with explosive quarterbacks, offensive potential. Both coaches, when we talked to them, said we got to contain the other quarterback. We'll see if they can do that.
Both coaches convinced that their defense can stop the other team, too.
Well, that was a very short kickoff, and it's finally gathered in there by Khalid Stamps. Working the right side, he's got a little bit of room down that right sideline. Went across the field and gets it all the way out across the 35 on the 37-yard line.
Khalid Stamps played middle school ball last year. He's a freshman this year. He's shown some signs of some true greatness on offense, and he does come in and run that tailback spot some.
Well, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Giants on their first possession. And the ball's marked all the way out to the 39-yard line. So great field position to begin with here.
There you see Khalid coming down that right side over there at the Anderson side and getting Marion set in good position at the 39-yard line.
I said 49, of course, I meant the 39-yard line. Well, here's the first play from scrimmage. A little short handoff here to the near side. Hey, there's a seam out across midfield, and then finally run out of bounds was J.K. Thomas, the only a sophomore, do-it-all kind of player for the Giants.
Last year, he had, I believe, 6 touchdowns in a game. He had an offensive touchdown. He had a defensive touchdown. And here he is taking the handoff, going to the outside. Nice block by Braden Burke. And he breaks it for a first down for Marion in Anderson territory at the 46.
Well, Anderson coach Robert Brown talked about containing the quarterback. That time they lost contain on the running back.
They have not gotten out of J.K. Thomas the effort that he had last year, and I think they want to showcase him a little bit more this year.
It'll be another first down or a second first down for the Giants. Rolling out to his right is Johnson, throwing across the field on the run, and I'm not sure if that one was deflected or not, but it was intended receiver Andre Aguilar really had no chance at that one.
Yeah, bootleg on that. They fake that time to J.K. Thomas going left from the prior play, setting that up, and then he boots out and gets the drag route across, but the ball was tipped right at the line of scrimmage.
So it will be 2nd down and 10, 4 wideouts. You'll see, of course, a lot of this spread look from the Giants. Now in motion, that's Pogue. Inside handoff and a nice gain on 2nd down. Makes it a very manageable 3rd down here. Looks to be about a 3rd and 3.
Pogue comes across in motion that time. As soon as the ball snapped, they hand off. He turns up and gets a nice 7 yards.
Well, 3rd down and 3 here. So the first 3rd down here for the Giants offense.
Anderson running a 4-4 defense on 3rd down, 4-3 normally.
Here's the handoff. Left side, nice little hesitation and patience there by Burke, waiting on his blockers, gets the Marion Giant first down inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line.
First down again for Marion, and I'm not sure if we're going to see it, but J.K. Thomas, who ran the ball the first play of the game, gets a nice kick-out block to allow Brandon to go up and get that first down.
A first down on a third down conversion there, so that's good start for the Giants, moving the ball very efficiently right now.
Good thing is, too, you're running the clock as you're doing it.
Pogue in motion. Second man gets the handoff. That's J.K. Thomas. Not much running room there, but he does pick up a couple yards.
J.K. is speed. Speed personified. Running inside, if you don't tackle him right at the line of scrimmage, he can get away, and once he gets away, it's trouble. Here he is on the little counter fake, but he gets hit right at the line. Well, maybe for a 2-yard gain, but not much there.
2nd and 8. First possession for the Giants. Just underway here with 10:27 to go here in the first quarter. Same look. Thomas bounces off of one tackler, but then he's still fighting and is finally brought down there by Israel Dates after a gain of a yard.
We tell those guys, tuck your jersey in, and there's a reason for that. It's because if your jersey's out and they miss you, they can grab that jersey, and J.K. may have gotten a little more yardage if he had that shirt tail tucked in. That's just a minor thing, but you know sometimes minor things lead to major plays.
Well, another third down for the Giants. This time, though, it's 3rd and 7. This will be a big play here for the Anderson Indian defense. Giants creeping up on field goal territory.
Got him
Fire
open.
across the middle. There's Burke. 10-5 touchdown.
I believe Burke's on the quick slant route from the inside on that double wide slot formation. Of course, Justin Johnson, I said he could run and throw. That time it was right on the money, leading Burks, and Burks just runs it on in for that touchdown, and the Giants go ahead 6-0 early here in the first quarter.
Well, 7 plays, 61 yards on that scoring drive, the 23-yard touchdown pass, and that was nowhere close, and I'm not sure if his foot slipped on that one, but that was a low kick.
I don't know. We're going to see it here. He got blocked.
Yeah.
22 came in from the side. It got blocked, and it seemed to me like it was slow getting that play off, and that's got to happen a little quicker. They put a new snapper in Anthony Reynolds, but Sam has been kicking for 3 years, and the holder is Luton's, and he's been holding for 3 years. That can't happen when you're playing a good North Central Conference team.
Well, again, 7 plays, 61 yards, as Johnson found Burke across the middle for the scoring touchdown. We had a great look from it up here, and you saw it develop, and a perfect throw there.
Yeah, just a little post right route. You see him go down 10, makes a little fake right, comes to the inside, and by post route, he runs right at the goal post to put Justin Johnson put it right on the money, and Giants go out 6-0.
Well, so now it'll be time for the Anderson offense to see what they can do against the Giant defense here. Good kickoff here. Oh, it's through the hands of number 24. Keenis Woods.
Christian Lemon's on the kickoff, and Christian, like Sam, plays both soccer and football. Christian with a great leg. This is nothing new to him to put it in the end zone, and he's a very good punter, averaging around 40 yards as a punter, too.
And such a big difference in the kicking game, the special teams. The Giants started their first drive out at the 39-yard line. Anderson started at the 20. That's a big difference.
It is a big difference. There's no doubt about it. And so they have got to work a little harder to get out here and get a touchdown. Giants right now in a 4-3 defense, and they've got a lot of speed there at the linebacker position.
This is a defense that the Giants are really happy the way they are pursuing the football and swarming to the ball, tackling as a team. Of course, that's what any good defense is going to do.
That is good, but they're also susceptible to a reverse and counter motion. I don't know if you noticed that time, but when the the quarterback, Aaron Armstrong, ran out of bounds. All of Marion's players were outside of the hash marks, and if somebody would have come back, there's nobody there to get him. So that's one of the things that their coaching staff's going to look at, as well as our coaching staff, to make sure we keep somebody home.
Well, a gain of 4 yards in that first down. This time the 3 wideouts are to the near side here to the right. Inside handoff. Oh, a lot of running room there. And a first down for the Indians as Elijah Murata picked up the first down as he gets it out across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
It was a little slip draw. The Giants went heavy to the trip side, and he found a hole just off of the right guard and turned it up for a first down for Anderson.
So the Indians pick up their first down from scrimmage. Armstrong looks over the defense. There was a false start here as one of the inside receivers moved a little quickly. I think that was number 30, Rayford, who moved there.
I believe you're right. And if you allow me to do one thing, we're thinking about our friends from Indiana Wesleyan as well as from Grant County who are down in Florida just now. I know Chris Taylor, who's down there, lives in the St. Petersburg area. I talked to him today. He'll be listening to or watching the game. Also, many of the people from where I live there in Seminole will be watching the game. So we'll have some kind of a fan base down in Florida.
Absolutely. Well, it'll be 1st and 15 after the penalty. On the keeper, Armstrong gets away from one tackler, but he doesn't get away from the second tackler. And who was that for the Giants? Was that?
Looked like Anthony Reynolds, maybe.
I thought maybe it was Brendan Martin who actually kind of whipped him down and then.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I believe you're right. Again, Aaron Armstrong, he is very much like Justin Johnson for Marion. He's quick, he's agile, and he reads his defense as well.
Well, here we go with the 2nd down and 12. Straight drop, under pressure, and rolls to the right. Oh, and he slipped down there trying to make a move. He did pick up a couple yards, Armstrong did, as he gets it near the 40-yard line. Up to the 41.
One of the things that many of our fans don't know, but each team has spotters up here in the box. One of the things that I know that they're calling down for Marion is that Dre Aguilar, number 8, who is the defensive end, disappeared that time. He went inside for the fake, and the quarterback came outside. You got to have those ends coming across to contain whatever's happening.
Well, here's a big 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Armstrong back in the shotgun. Has plenty of time, but he rolls to his left. He's got some running room, but he's hemmed in. Turns it outside, and boy, it's going to be close. Did he get the first down, Ron? We'll have to wait and see.
Great effort by Aaron Armstrong. I don't think he did. He reached across, but I think they put him out of bounds. I think the marker that he had to cross was the 46, and I believe they're going to mark him out just inside the 45.
Yeah, it looks to be about a yard short. Now the Giants, Ron, though, on 4th and 1 are going to call timeout. I'm not sure if they had a personnel issue there or what, but the Giants are going to have to use one of their timeouts here.
Well, again, Brandon Martin, has played well coming inside, did not stay home. And I tell you, with this quarterback, you have to have your defensive ends come across and spy that quarterback so he can't get outside.
Well, so we'll have a 4th down and 1 yard to go. And with the ball right at the 45-yard line of Anderson, I would think you have to kick the football away here, but you never know.
I tell you what, I think that Anderson is 1-0 in the conference. They're 1-2 overall, having lost their first 2. I think they go for it. And I tell you why, because they've got a quarterback that reads the defense as well. They run that option. He's going to look at that. If he's coming right, he'll look at the defensive tackle. If the defensive tackle goes down on the dive back, he'll pull and try to get the thing himself.
Well, here we go. They are going to go for it. 4th and 1. Armstrong, long count there. pulls it out, holds it, and they did not get it. They did not get the first down as the Giant defense steps up and makes the big stop right there.
Oh, that's time. I think Dre Aguilar was there, and then we had a linebacker come up from the inside, but he pulled, and as soon as he pulled, Andre Aguilar, and I'm telling you, somebody down there told him, stay home, because this time he stayed home and stopped them on that fourth down try.
We see the replay there. I'm not sure who that's underneath there, but he wasn't even close to the first down.
Yeah, and that trying to see who it was.
Yeah,
but
underneath the pile, that was Pogue who made the stop.
And Montreal Pogue at his linebacker spot has done very well. He's been a leader on the defense as well as running the ball offensively.
It'll be the second Giants possession. This time they'll start it from the Anderson 45. Well, just spinning and trying to get away there for the Giants. J.K. Thomas, not much running room there, but he does pick up 2 yards.
What they featured in their first 3 games on offense for the Giants was a spread offense with a single back. Now they're running close to I backs or offset backs with a fullback blocker, and now J.K. Thomas carrying the ball with the regularity.
Well, of course, if you can run the ball inside a little bit more, it just opens up so many more options on the perimeter.
It does, and what it does is it puts pressure on their linebackers.
Well, on the rollout, around the corner, stepping along the sidelines, but stepping out of bounds after a gain of just about a yard.
Justin Johnson on the keeper, and, you know, he tried to elude the outside backer, and as he tried to elude him, he went outside and couldn't keep from running out of bounds, and we're just going to call it maybe a half-yard gain.
Yep, it'll be a 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 for the Giants. Of course, they've converted. They converted on 2 third down opportunities in that first drive, kept that drive alive and later scored on the touchdown, so they'll try to do the same thing here.
Well, look for that little post pattern from Braden Burks.
On the rollout, Johnson's keeper all the way around the corner. He's got the first down, and then he goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Boy, he marked that really close to that first down marker. I thought Justin
Johnson, I told, and before the game, in our pregame, he has been 80 to 90%. He runs the ball well. I think they're trying to go to J.K. a little more to take a little bit of the pressure off, but certainly every time they've looked for a first down, Justin Johnson has been a part of the solution.
Yeah, and that looked like that was a keeper.
That was a keeper all the way with J.K. J.K. Thomas got a nice block out there after about 7 yards that got him the first down.
So the Giants convert 3 for 3 on 3rd down situations here. Here's an inside quarterback draw. Boy, nice move by Johnson to pick up a couple more yards as he gets 5 on that first down. Gets it down to the 30-yard line.
That's a total read play. He read that defensive end. Watch the defensive end come across, and I think that was maybe the prior play. But he read the defensive end. The defensive end went wide. He ducked it up and picked up about 6 yards. Maybe, let's call it 5.
2nd down and 5. Giants scored a touchdown on their first drive of the ball game after their defense held on 4th down. They got great field position. They'd like to extend their 6-0 lead. J.K. on the rollout. Justin on the rollout. And out of bounds, a short gainer there.
Anderson had a blitz coming from their outside left linebacker, and Marion did a nice job. Marion's right side tackle, we'll have to see who that was, and I believe it was Gabe Watkins out there, picked up the blitz, and Justin Johnson gets outside for just a couple of yards.
Talking to Coach Brown earlier this week, he talked about his defense quite a bit. He has a lot of confidence in them. They'll throw multiple fronts at you, but you mentioned blitz. They like to blitz a lot.
They do, and he also talked about putting people as spies on Justin Johnson, but Justin Johnson's kind of having his, oops, there's a bad one.
Well, a break for the Giants as that ball went on the turf. They're going to lose several yards, but they do not lose possession. But now, Ron, it's 4th down, and this is kind of a...
It's you have to go for it here just because a punt I don't think is going to give you anything. and it's too far for a field goal. You're looking at maybe a 50-yard field goal. That would be a school record. So that's not going to happen.
Well, we'll see what the Giants do here.
I'm saying they're going to pass. They're going to pick on the inside. That's where they've had their best success, is on the inside, the two slot backs. You got Burke out there, and you've got Montreal Pogue here on the left side. Let's see if he looks at them.
Straight drop, looking left. He's going downfield, wide open. Oh, and just off the hands, just off the fingertips of Montreal Pogue. And I'm not sure how in the world Montreal got that wide open, but there was not another defender within 30 yards of him.
Yeah, and that's what I told you. It's Montreal Pogue. They've had a lot of success because they're actually manning up. Nobody picked him up as he came off on the out and up route. And, you know, if Johnson gets the ball there to him a little bit shorter, that's a touchdown for Marion. And that's too bad it happened that way. But they know that it's still there. They know that the outside people for Anderson will suck in because Justin Johnson is a threat inside.
Well, the Indians will take over at the 33-yard line, their second possession. A break for the Anderson Indians, see if they can take advantage. The inside handoff and down the left sideline. A nice gain at first down. Pickup of about 13 or 14 yards that time by Elijah Murata. And the Indians pick up the first down.
There you are. That time they get the outside or the end pinned, and he just outruns then the secondary for a first down on a big play to get them up near midfield. Very similar to Marion as far as athletic ability.
Yeah. Two really good quarterbacks going here, and to me that nice run there set up by the defense, focusing too much maybe on Armstrong.
That could be. That very well could be.
Well, there's a pickup of about 3 yards there on first down. Make it 2nd and 7 on the carry. Again there for the Indians is Elijah Murata. He's a 5'11" senior.
Very quick and low to the ground. Takes a good hit down on the knees or on the thigh boards to take him down.
2nd and 7. Third straight handoff, another big gainer, another first down as they're now well into Giant territory down to the 40-yard line.
This young man runs hard. It's just a straight ahead give, and we're going to see him on instant replay. Watch him run through a tackle from Marion and picking up another 3 yards. We call that yak yards when they run, and that's yards after contact. When they get yards after the catch, that's also yak yards too. So we'll look at that a little more as this season goes on. How many more yards do they get after their first hit as opposed to going down when they're hit?
Armstrong once again. A little bit tighter formation here for Anderson. Inside handoff. Working the right side, some yardage over there. Finally tracked down from behind. That time was Octavius Anderson. And I think making the stop for the Giants that time was Andre Aguilar.
And he actually, it's hard to tell. I think that was Braden Burke coming across. Yeah, that's Braden Burke. It's hard to tell, the 8 or the 9. I just know Aguilar is a bit bigger than Burke. Burks came blitzing from the free safety and had to chase him down from behind.
Well, just like that, the Anderson Indians offense is getting on track now. That's their fifth. Excuse me, it's 2nd and 1. I just assumed he had gotten a first down. A good stop there on that second down play. I'm not sure if it's good enough for a first down or not. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't think officials need much time to look at it. They say it's third down.
Wow. It is 6 inches maybe. It looks like the ball is touching the 30-yard line, and it looks like the sticks have it on the 30-yard line. Great play right here by Montreal Pogue as he steps up from his linebacker spot and takes the runner down.
And from that look, he was clearly short of the first down.
Yes, and I think he got a generous spot there.
Nice
hit.
Oh, what a tackle there. Was that Pogue?
That was Pogue again.
Making the play defensively And now instead of 3rd and inches, it's going to be about 4th and 2. Pogue just flying through there making the stop.
I don't know if the guys downstairs have this on instant replay, but he had to come across on a blitz just because he got there a yard behind the line as soon as the ball carrier got the ball.
We're under a minute here in the first quarter. We'll see if we get another playoff again. Here's that.
Here we see him. He's coming up, and he took him down. The carrier that time was Marcus Cullum, and he went down quick.
Well, 4th down play here. Armstrong will keep it rolling to the left. He's hemmed in, and
it's going to be close.
Going to be very close. If he got to the 30-yard line, I believe he had the first down.
They're going to give it to Marion, I think.
Well,
nope.
The official comes in and says first down.
The guy on the sideline said Marion ball, but the referee said, no, it's going to be Anderson ball. He got all of about maybe a 6 inches, maybe 10 inches on that carry, but it was enough to give them a first down.
Well, it is indeed a first down for Anderson. That is indeed the final play of the first quarter. Exciting first quarter of action.
It was, and quick.
Some explosive offenses we talked about, moving the football up and down the field. And at the end of one quarter play, though, the Giants have the 6-0 lead. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the second quarter of action right after this.
Home. It's where friends come together. It's where finishing touches simply mean more. And it's where even simple moments become lasting memories. Home is where communities come together. The state of Indiana offers down payment assistance and other benefits. See participating lenders at homeownership.in.gov.
This message is sponsored by the Indiana Housing Community Development Authority and this station.
Still on his feet, one man to beat. He will get all the way to the end zone.
Start of the second quarter here. Be 1st and 10 for the Anderson Indians. A drive that started at their own 33-yard line. They've gotten down to the Giants' 30. Armstrong was looking deep. He'll pull it in, now fires to the right side. And out of bounds. He made the catch, the receiver did, but he was out of bounds.
Marion came with linebacker blitz, and I believe they brought all 3 linebackers. He got away initially from him, but they still had 7 rushers that put pressure on the quarterback, and he had to get rid of that ball.
I put some pressure on the defensive backs and did a pretty good job covering deep.
They did. But I tell you what, when you allow this quarterback, Aaron Armstrong, number 10 for Anderson, watch how he scrambles well, and he gets out of trouble with his feet.
Yes.
That's been a real problem for Marion to contain him.
2nd down and 10. Once again, inside handoff. That time, no running room, or not much at all, for Murata. And he picks up a yard, but that'll be it. And now it's a 3rd and long for Anderson. 3rd and 9.
Dre Aguilar and Montreal Pogue. We've used his name quite a bit.
Boy.
In on that tackle for no gain as the Marion linebackers and the Marion defensive line pick up that little inside run.
Pogue, the senior, number 5 for the Giants. He's had an outstanding first 13 minutes of this ball game. Big 3rd down here for the Indians. 11th play of this drive. In motion that time is Anderson. The keeper nowhere to run, and he's in fact going to lose yard, but now a late flag comes flying in, and I wonder if that's going to be a face mask, and it is. Oh, what a terrible break for the Giants defense there after coming up with a big stop.
Tackled by Zach Randolph Jr. As he is out playing some football. Here he comes right across, and he takes him down. No, he's not in your
I'll be honest, I did not see the face mask there.
No, I didn't either.
Now, at the end, there was some contact with the quarterback's helmet moved, but I did not see a face mask there.
Big number 70, Zach Randolph, came across and got the tackle. Got called for a face mask that was kind of hard for us to see up here and look, and we didn't detect it on instant replay.
Now, I have that as the first penalty of the evening for the Giants.
I think so, and you always take an aggressive.
Picked off in the end zone. Who was that for the Giants? That was Justin Johnson in at defensive back. They read that one the whole way, Ron. And so after the big penalty, the Giants take over on the turnover. Hey, let's check in downstairs with Katie Key.
Thanks, Roger. I'm down here on the sideline, and I spoke with Coach Jackson before the first quarter ended, and he said that they were just looking to fix some of the mistakes they made early on. And as you see, they just got an interception, so it looks like they're doing a great job with that, and they're just looking to keep picking it up this second quarter. Back to you, Roger.
All right, thank you so much, Katie Key. The Giants take over at the 20-yard line. Their first drive of the second quarter. Working the right side. JK doesn't have a lot of running room there, but Thomas gets it out across the 22. We'll say a gain of 2. Let's take a look at this interception. And
here, Justin Johnson plays center field and picks that off. As you can see, he was double covered.
Yeah,
he had Anthony Reynolds there covering, and Justin Johnson, as the safety back here, just played center field and got the pick.
Yeah, Anthony Reynolds with great coverage there. And even if the help hadn't come over there, Reynolds might have picked that one off.
If Justin Johnson's taller and he got the pick. Yeah, I like Anthony Reynolds. This is his, he's a junior, but it's his third year to start.
Second down. Johnson rolling. Tucks it in. Now he'll run. Turns it back up. He's across the 40. The midfield, inside Anderson territory, and down at the 48. So a play that looked like it was going nowhere is a big gainer for Justin Johnson and a big Marion first down.
A little bit of fireworks down there, and I think the officials took care of it quick. But that's what you have when you have athleticism that Justin Johnson has. He stood, he looked. He bought himself time with his feet. Then when he didn't see anybody, here we have him on instant replay. Knocks over a would-be tackler, and that's your yak yards. He got kneed, and I tell you what, I kind of understand that. Yeah. And the guy that kneed him came up and got in his face. So, a little bit of hijinks there, but what a good run by Justin Johnson.
Desmond Johnson for the Giants is going to protect his quarterback there. There's a gainer there of about, 8-9 yards.
And almost 10. According where let's call it 9.
Well, after the 30-yard gainer from the feet of Johnson, he throws that one for 8 yards. And sets up second down.
Little curl action as he goes down and turns around right there, picks it up. He takes 3 guys to take him down. He loses the ball, but they call him dead.
That's Travis Metzger, his first reception of the evening. Inside handoff, and then Thomas is wrapped up and pulled down there by Mike Stewart. But, boy, I thought his forward progress was going to be close to the first down. And, in fact, it is a first down for the Giants.
It is a first down, and that's J.K. needs to get his head down just a little bit more and use those legs to drive through. I can't impress upon how much the yak yards for a runner are, that contact and then running through. We saw Justin Johnson run through a tackle. That's what you're looking for when you put those shoulders down when you get to contact.
Burke in motion. Oh, it dropped the handoff. I'm not sure if Johnson was trying to pull that one back in, but another break for the Giants. That's the second time they put it on the turf.
That is, and that was Braden Burke. That's 2 guys who are experienced, seasoned people. And that ball, he has to ride that ball into the pocket. And it looked like he tried to pull it out. Let's see if he's trying to pull it out. No, he's just fumbling the ball from where he gets it. That was on Justin Johnson because he fumbled the ball before Braden ever got there.
Well, the net result of that play is a loss of a yard, so it'll be second down and 11. Travis Metzger split out wide to the right. Now Burke comes in motion. Johnson on the keeper. Keeper gets a nice block, turns it upfield, and gets a gain of about 5 yards. Inside down to the 35-yard line.
If we get this one on a replay, it would be good just because it lets you see how Justin Johnson read the outside the end, and he turned it up inside. Instead of getting hit at the line of scrimmage, he picks up an additional 2 yards.
So it's 3rd and 7 as the ball is marked at the 36-yard line.
I believe we're in 4-down territory right now.
Johnson takes a look here.
Man to man.
Good coverage.
Got him.
And caught! Touchdown! Oh, guess who? Montreal Pogue makes the grab for the Giants score. And I'm going to tell you what, Ron, I thought the defender was in very good position right there.
He was. That's where Montreal wanted it more. He was defended well, but he went up over the top of the defender and picked up that ball. What a great throw by Justin Johnson and a good pick by Montreal Pogue.
Well, a 36-yard strike from Justin Johnson to Montreal Pogue, and the Giants go on top 12-0. Vermillion in now to attempt the extra point. We'll watch the snap here.
Looks like a good one.
The kick is up. It's plenty long. It's plenty good. And with that, the Giants extend their lead to 13-0. A minute.
Look at this throw.
17 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Beautiful spiral. He goes up over the defender. What a great job by Montreal Pogue to get that touchdown.
And credit, you know, we talk about the skill position, we talk about the quarterback and the fast guy. Really good job by the offensive line to give Justin Johnson just tons of time and a great pocket to throw.
You know, the thing that I've seen, and I think that's what Coach Chambers told us in our production meeting yesterday, he says, we're working on our kids. And when his kids don't make mistakes, he doesn't worry about what Anderson's throwing at him because they're going to be successful right now, and he believes that. And when they make mistakes is when they start having 2nd and 3rd and long.
Beautiful shot of Dick Luton Stadium here.
Wow.
And a beautiful night, great night for football here in central Indiana.
We can see literally a couple miles from here. That's what a great shot that is. Good camera shot.
That's the
IU blimp. Is that what the IWU blimp?
Air Wildcat. Well, the Giants set to kick this one off. A shorter kick this time, taking about the 7-yard line, carrying out across the 20, the 25, and finally taken down at the 28-yard line where the Indians will set up shop there. But that last drive round for the Giants, 7 plays, 80 yards, capped off by the 36-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to Pogue. But that was an impressive drive because they did things on the ground and through the air.
And more impressively, they ran about half a quarter off the clock.
Yeah.
So ball control right now for Marion has kept them in charge of this ball game.
Well, it's 1st and 10 for the Indians. They really need to do something with this drive here, see if they can't get some points on the board before halftime. Nice dump off out of the backfield. The Giants defense there did a pretty good job of containment and coming up from his corner position to make the stop that time for the Giants was Washington.
Aaron Armstrong, quarterback, throws the ball to his back, Elijah Murdia, and a little swing pass, picks up about 3 yards. Giants were there to cover it, and I think right now with less than 7 minutes to go, the Giants will give them those short passes like that.
6.5 to go here. Game moving very quickly here, Ron. Both offenses there, as we see the short gainer there, both offenses doing some things quickly, but also very few penalties, only one penalty apiece, and only the one timeout. So the game moving along pretty quickly.
It's I like what they're doing. I think they've come out to show that last week the 2 touchdowns that the defense gave were a mistake because they gave them up from the 13 and from the 4-yard line. That time, Brendan Martin, he just shut that option down by closing down from the defensive end.
Big 3rd down here now. 3rd and 6, we'll call it. Armstrong sends his man in motion.
Oh, what a hit.
And guess who was Is that Pogue again? No. Who was that made the hit? I could not see it from here, but a big hit.
That might have been Dre Aguilar. He's that defensive end. Let's see if that's Dre coming across.
Yep. Oh, actually, that was Darryl Brown, wasn't it? Number 7 for the Giants. Well, this defense.
If that's who they have in, but it is a defensive end where Aguilar normally is. And but what a hit! What a hit!
Now, is this going to be a fake situation, or are they going to try to draw him offside?
They're going to try to draw him off.
I think they're going to just totally run this one out.
Yep.
Take the penalty and see if they couldn't get the Giants to jump offside. That was a great defensive possession by this Marion Giant defense.
It was, and I think inspired is the key word. There's our shot of our truck down there where everything we say goes, and look at this shot. Look at that shot. That's South Marion at its best, and certainly Dick Luton Stadium at its best too.
Well, it's 4th and 9. The Anderson Indians get the punt off, a low line drive, but it takes a good Anderson bounce inside the 35, inside the 30. Burke will just have to get away from it, wisely so, and a roll to a stop where the Giants will take over at their own 27-yard line.
Well, Marion dominating this game in time of possession. Certainly, in that 2/3 to 1/3 by their running game, keeping the ball on the ground, and then going to the big strike for the touchdown on the last series.
Well, 4 minutes and 37 seconds to go here in the first half.
Anderson still in that 4-man front. Really haven't gotten to Justin Johnson. That offensive line for Marion has anchored down and stopped that rush.
Here's the handoff. Pogue turns it upfield. Has it near the first down marker as he gets it out across the 37. He does have the first down at the 38-yard line, a pickup of 11 yards.
Great blocks by your outside people, but the inside line right here, watch them turn them. Watch them turn them in. Turn them in, and they get the corner turned, and you see Marion's outside people down on defenders. What a great job, a great team job to get that first down.
Well, it's another first down for the Giants. Inside half. Oh, that's a fumble. Another problem on the exchange, and this time it's going to cost the Giants as Anderson takes over at the 42-yard line. So on the second play from scrimmage in this drive, the Giants, we talked about that, the problem on the exchange. It's the third time they put it on the turf. This time they lose it.
It's not the other team that's stopping the Giants. It's their and then it looks to me like Justin Johnson wanted to keep that ball. He pulled it out.
And I wonder at one point or at some point maybe if you're the Giants, if you just say, hey, we're taking that play out of the playbook until we prove
it's a good option.
Yeah.
But when it does, when the quarterback is trying to pull it, that's his option. He's reading the defense. He was going to go the other way with it.
So Anderson will have it, 1st and 10 at the 42. Good pursuit once again by the Giant defense. Nowhere to run. A gain of maybe a half a yard.
Christian Ross comes from his outside backer spot to get that tackle. Only a 1-yard gain. I want to mention the fact that Isaiah Hamilton for the Giants, who's been a two-way starter, is out for this game. And I believe maybe over there, maybe Justin Johnson is playing a little bit more, and then on this side. But Isaiah was a corner and did quite well for him.
Armstrong fakes it. Gets a little pressure. Now he'll turn upfield. Under all sorts of problem. Somehow got rid of that one, but it's an incomplete pass.
Don't know if we'll get this on replay, but Anthony Reynolds kills this play. He's number 37 for the Giants, but he goes out there, and they wanted to have a little one-man screen, and Anthony Reynolds reads it, and he's standing between the ball, and here it is. Watch Anthony Reynolds go out. Well, we don't get to see him. But he killed the play. The quarterback had to come back to his left because there was a man standing out there where he wanted to throw.
Well, now 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 for Anderson. They really need to get some points here before the half. Under pressure, Armstrong hit as he releases it. Incomplete pass, and Armstrong now a little slow to get up here.
Is that our buddy Montreal Pogue putting the hit?
Yes, it was.
Coming up on the blitz.
Boy, what a first half he's
What
had.
a first half he's had, not only defensively, but certainly he's carried the ball a few times. And that's what we're talking about. Marion's skilled kids are going both ways. They do give them breaks at times, but looks like Coach Burke's down there wondering what's going.
Well, his defense has played outstanding, particularly in this second quarter.
It is, the offense wins games and defense wins championships, and he's got a defense that if we can get this offense going, that's going to go a long ways.
Well, Anderson will kick this one away. They really have no choice in this. Very poor kick, though, as it goes out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, a 21-yard punt. That's not very good.
Hey, let's send it down to the field. We'll check in with Rachel Berry.
Anderson coaches continue to tell the players that they need to play more physical. If they do play physical, they believe that everything else will fall into place, which also means that they do need to continue to protect the quarterback at all times. So they're hoping for a touchdown here soon.
All right. 5th possession here for the Giants. 3 minutes and 5 seconds. That's plenty of time for them to move this ball down the field,
right?
Especially with the big play opportunities and personnel.
I think the thing that Rachel picked up from the Anderson is what we've seen.
Yeah.
Marion is bringing the attack to them. They are hitting them. They are backing off. And you got to want that, or they're not going to be in this game much longer. Good observation by Rachel.
Boy, the problem on the snap. Johnson under trouble and nowhere for him to go. He's going to lose 5 yards as he's taken down back inside the 20 at about the 16 or 17-yard line.
You look at statistics, and statistics don't lie. Coming into the game, Marion had a penalty or a fumble every 3 minutes in the first game. And so far we've seen 3 or I think four now. That might have been the 4th. They've lost one. But you can, when the other team's not stopping you and you stop yourself, that's not good football.
Yeah, that is indeed the 4th time that they put the ball down on the turf. Fortunate to have lost only one of those. Here's a snap. J.K. Thomas almost broke away from the initial tackler who met him right in the hole there. Takes him down, no gain. In fact, maybe lost a half a yard. So this Anderson defense trying to make something happen here as they set up a 3rd and 16 against the Giants.
I guess I'm saying to the guys down in the truck, if you can hone in sometime when Giants run the ball, what the line play is, the Giants do not let Anderson's guys get any depth at all. They stymie him there right at 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. That's what's allowing them to get the corners turned and to get the yardage that they have. I just really applaud the effort of the offensive Giant line.
Well, it'll be 3rd and 16, and the Giants with 1:35 to go here on the clock will use their 2nd timeout, talk this one over. Well, Ron, of course, this is our first football broadcast of the week, but Indiana Wesleyan Fall Sports have been on, and they're back better than ever on WIWU TV. So join us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. for men's soccer. They host one of the top teams in the nation, Rio Grande, from the state of Ohio. That's Saturday night, 7 p.m. WIWU TV, also streaming on ESPN3 and Facebook Live. Did you ever play soccer, Ron?
No, but my
Okay.
kids, my grandkids do, and my grandson Sam, who is kicking here, double duties himself. He will get 12 varsity letters when he graduates this year. He'll have 12, and I believe that's right next to the Reggie Neville's. But he does 2 sports in the fall, and then he does swimming. But kids now aren't afraid to do more than one, and certainly soccer has come up to challenge football in the fall for amount of fan time.
Well, here we go. The Giants 3rd down, 3rd and 16. They've had some success in the air, but instead they hand it off. And J.K. is taken down on a really nice tackle there by Anderson. And boy, that was a near disaster, though, for Anderson defensively, as in terms of maybe a close to a late hit there after the play.
Yeah, that they did a good job. We missed the man at the point of attack. Yeah. And when you're, as a offensive coordinator, you look at the point of attack, and here we missed the block. Here we come out wide with it, and again, a second block by Dre Aguilar is missed, and that does look like a late hit there. That really does. But nonetheless, when you go, if you get the point of attack, you're going to get yards. And Marion missed two blocks at the point of attack.
Well, after a couple impressive drives, the last 2 possessions for the Giants have resulted in this punt, and prior to that, a fumble.
You need a big kick here from Christian Lemons, and he got it. He got it.
Good
he got
kick
it.
And a good Marion Giants bounce inside the Anderson 40, and it'll be down at the 39-yard line. They needed that kick with minute 14 to go. They did not want to give Anderson the ball inside their own territory.
That was a big-time kick. He kicked it from his own 1-yard line. Now, it doesn't count because they actually snapped it from about the 13, but the ball went down to the Anderson 39. Major kick for Christian Lemons to get Giants out of the basement, so to speak, down there at the end zone.
You know, the good thing is, or the good news for the Giants, it looked like he almost bobbled that snap just slightly. That was a near disaster.
Christian has kicked for 3 years, too. He's very seasoned. He's a soccer player, and those soccer guys, by the way, I believe, are right at the top of the conference.
Here we go with Armstrong. They'll have a minute 14 to go. Looks right, throws right, has his man, complete. Breaks one tackle, another, a 3rd tackle inside Marion Giant territory, and finally hauled down, but not until he gets down to about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, you know, he didn't get a lot of yards. He got some, 14 yards there, but he was hit 3 times, and then the 4th time he actually got out of this before he fell down. Look, watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And, oh, by the way, he's getting rid of that.
Armstrong on the run, throws it, has his man complete. Spins away inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Well, did he get out of bounds or not? I don't think he did get out of bounds, so I think Anderson is going to have to call a timeout.
Great athleticism from Aaron Armstrong for Anderson as he rolls right. The receiver goes down and does a comeback route. He goes down, turns around, and comes back to the ball, gets right close to a first down. And I guess it's going to be about no, they're going to give him that first down now. First down on that comeback route.
Well, indeed, it was a pickup of 10 yards then. Another first down for Anderson, their 7th first down of the ballgame. More importantly, though, with 46.5 seconds to go, they have the ball down into Giant territory at the 37-yard line. You know, the Giants tackled extremely well. Their defense did, I think, for the most of this first half.
They certainly have.
Last couple plays.
And we see Coach Burks with his hands on his hips. You know, he's getting the guys there, but on that one play, they gave up 14 yards with 4 missed tackles. Those guys were in the right place to stop the run, and that's just fundamentals, and that'll be taken care of at halftime.
1st and 10. Armstrong getting ready for the snap. Pump fake. Under pressure. He just unloads towards a right sideline, an incomplete pass, and he's very fortunate to get that one away because he was being drugged down all the way back inside Anderson territory, back about the 45-yard line.
That's Xavier G, maybe 15, coming from the outside backer to hurry that. But you know, quickness is great, but if you got somebody on top of you, you got to get rid of that ball, and that's what he did. He just threw it out of bounds.
Their quick hitters have been more effective, though.
They have.
Slower developing plays, not quite so much.
The Giants are the aggressor right now, and they're very susceptible right now to draw.
Looking to throw his Armstrong under pressure. He's on the run, and he's going to be held down. And there's the flag. That's an intentional grounding penalty coming as the Giants defense once again comes up with the big play. And this is going to set up that'll be a loss of down.
Yep.
Place will be 3rd and forever.
Brandon Martin came from his left defensive end, and he chased him, and he outran Aaron Armstrong. Aaron Armstrong, we talk about how quick he is. Watch him come. Here he comes, and he gets a shoestring tackle, takes him down, and certainly that was a throwaway ball. That was something that he just should have eaten it. But certainly the Giants were the aggressors. All 4 of the defensive line for the Giants beat their man and got through.
Well, a drive that looked to have some promise for Anderson, just like that, comes tumbling down like a tower of Jenga blocks.
Well, it was like, where did Brendan Martin come from? You know, he can't be that fast. He's a lineman. Here he comes. Brandon's coming from the right side. Here he is getting through right there. And here comes G from the other side. They're both chasing him, and look at this shoestring tackle. What a great tackle by Brendan Martin. Great effort by the Giant defensive line to take that ball away from the potential score.
Well, so now after the second timeout for Anderson.
Good camera work by the guys, too. I think sometimes we don't give them enough credit, but we have a great view up here because of the camera work that we have from the guys.
That's outstanding work. You know, Ron, it's because of those guys, not us, that WIWU TV has been picked up by ESPN3 for broadcast. Oh, there's another big stop.
And again, Brandon Martin, Zach Randolph, Xavier G, Andre Aguilar in on the tackle, and they're just beating the pudding out of that offensive line.
I think Christian Ross in there as well, but kind of an interesting call there on that, trying to maybe just make something happen with the draw play. But
that is a draw, and you either draw or screen, and Brandon Martin said no, and here comes the guys.
Well, look at that. There's 5 Giants around the ball. And we talked about that, their pursuit and their swarming around the football. Well, that's what good defenses do.
It's just what the Anderson coach wants, that the Marion coach Chambers is getting, is the pursuit by his defense to stop that ball. And now at what was at one time 1st and 10 at the Marion 37-yard line is 4th and 31 at the Anderson 37-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a switch in the field.
Oh, it's unbelievable what this Marion defensive line has done to this 2-minute offense that Anderson has tried to create. I can't give enough credit to him. I know Will Whitaker down there works with the offense and the defense, but these guys are coming off the ball and just beating the snot, so to speak, out of that offensive line. It's just like they're saying, you're not going to stop us from coming. And right there is Coach Burks who calls that, and there's Big Will. Big Will is the only one in Marion football history to have his thing retired, and he played for the Green Bay Packers on that backside for Brett Favre.
Well, a good punt there, a good result for the Indians as that punt goes inside the 25 and down at the 22-yard line. Not only did it get some good yards there for the Indians, that punt took about 10 a good 10 seconds off the clock with the roll.
I think if you're the Giants here, you just kill it. I could be wrong. You might, run it. You don't throw it deep because if you turn it over here and give them a chance to come back, you're up 13-0. You've dominated this game. You don't want to give them anything going into halftime to feel good about.
A quick shout out to our good friend, former colleague Garrett Matney, listening to us online down in the great state of Mississippi. Keeping the skies safe for us from the United States Air Force. Johnson will just run it out of bounds.
And he ran it, but he got out of bounds, and I think maybe he was wanting to say, Coach, I think we can get it.
Be second and 10. Yeah, I'm not sure why you go out of bounds there.
No, you really don't want to. If you just want to kill the clock, just stay out there.
Now, do you do something? Is that a little bit of trickeration when you're setting up a deep ball here?
It could be. It could be, but it's not. Here he is.
Well, there's
got
a
a
flag
hold
as well as Johnson gets out across the 35. But this one's coming back.
Quick clock. You got 1 second left. I'm not sure you want that 1 second right now.
That is the second penalty on the Giants.
Again, Justin Johnson keeping the ball himself, not risking the handoff that we've seen fumbled 4 times in that first half. I know that the coaching staff will deal with how he is reading the option, where he has the option to give or take and run it, because I think 3 of those 4 he wanted to keep the ball himself, and the back just took the ball away from him, and the result was just a fumble.
Well, for the first time tonight, Johnson will go under center, takes the snap, and takes the knee. And that will indeed be the final play of the first half. But the Giants, offensively, doing some good things. But the story of this first half, I think, is that Marion Giant defense.
Undoubtedly, it's the defense has been ahead of the offense all year. The domination that the defense had over the Anderson offense, I think they're in, and we might find this out, they're in for maybe negative yards in this first half.
Well, again, that is indeed the story for the first half. Certainly we'll be back with our second half of football here from Dick Luton Stadium in Marion, Indiana. But we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll have our Crossroads halftime show here on WIWU TV.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key. As we start season 13, one of our favorite events, the annual Labor Day weekend Fly-In Cruisin'.
I think every year that we debut the show here, I get to tell a new co-host. Have you ever been here before?
I haven't, so looks like it's the first time.
And we got you here bright and early for pancakes.
Yes, and they were really good. Pancakes were one of the better parts for my day. Started off right.
Believe it or not, this is year 27 for the Marion Fly-In Cruisin', and now you know you got to come back.
So it's been going on longer than I've been alive. That's kind of crazy to think about.
You make me feel old. Well, it's a wonderful event. You can kind of see some of the activity here as the event goes on. People are checking out the cars, planes are flying in. Car shows over there, they're still serving pancakes. It is a busy scene by mid-morning, so a lot of people have to get out here pretty early.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's just a really great event for really good ministries. I mean, free event to just get in here, and then you have the opportunity to get food like pancakes and just get back to a ministry that's doing so much.
Gilead Ministries, second year that they're involved with it, and we'll talk to them a little bit later in the show, kind of hear what that's been like to be running the Fly-In Cruisin' now, or at least the pancake breakfast part of it.
Yeah, and they're having a lot of fun doing it. But one of the great things about the Fly-In is watching all the pilots coming in from all the different states.
Yeah, I love doing that. You know, some of them fly in just as hobbyists, others kind of fly in with more of a purpose. For the last few years, if you pay attention, you get to see a vintage World War II trainer aircraft taxiing in. And then when people watch that plane taxi in, they're usually surprised when they see who gets out of the cockpit.
Yes, our producer, Russ Clark, got to fly along and find out why she loves the air and the stories she gets to hear when she touches down.
They say when you love your job, every day is a vacation. And if that's the case, Laura Stantz has never worked a day in her life. She's a part-time instructor, part-time corporate pilot, and full-time aviation addict.
When I was small, somebody took me up in a little two-seat airplane and let me fly the plane, and I was hooked. I was 7 years old. I started saving my money when I was 11 or 12, and by the time I was 19, I had saved up enough to be able to take flying lessons, and I've been flying ever since.
If you ever find her on the ground, it's usually at events like Marion's annual Fly-In Cruisin', offering a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to soar through the air in a piece of history. A T-6 Texan, a single-engine aircraft used to train fighter pilots in World War II.
You can feel the history. As soon as you sit in it, you can feel the people that went before you, the men and even some women from World War II who learned how to fly and how to fight in that airplane and defend their country. There's just something about the sound and the smell and the feel. It's pretty hard to describe, but you are flying history, and it is quite an honor.
The history becomes even more real for Laura when she gets the opportunity to show off the plane or share the cockpit with those who fought alongside these aircrafts years ago.
A lot of times a veteran would come up and tell me a story and his family would be standing right there, and they would look at each other and they would be shocked and we'd never heard that before. They don't always like to talk about things like that, but when they would see these airplanes, they'd come up to me and say, one of these airplanes saved my life in Korea, or my uncle learned to fly in one of these. And you just listen to those stories and it just creates such an amazing sense of honor to be able to represent the real pilots of those airplanes.
It's a challenging aircraft to pilot, and Laura says she still gets some looks of disbelief when she takes off her helmet to reveal her long red hair.
It's the first time I've been into a place and they're not familiar with me. When I get out, there are usually surprised gasps, or people will come up to me and say something. One woman told me that, walked up to me and said that I'd won her a lunch bet, because when I came in, she told her husband that there was a girl flying that, and he said, "No way." It's large, it's loud, it's 600 horsepower. It's not forgiving. You make a mistake in that airplane, it will bite you. You feel manly flying it. I don't know how to put that, but you do.
For Laura, flying the T-6 is about honoring memories, and not just those of the veterans familiar with the aircraft, but also memories of her own.
My husband and I had 2 children who passed away from the disease SMA, and so every year we host this fundraiser and we give rides with the Checkertail T6, and we donate the proceeds of that towards spinal muscular atrophy SMA support.
Laura knows life can be just as unforgiving as the planes she flies, but she hasn't let the past keep her grounded, and what started as a part-time passion has become a full-time commitment to helping others.
I can't imagine doing anything else. It's a piece of my soul, and to be able to use that for work and be able to do it to benefit other groups, I can't imagine anything better than that.
Well, welcome back to Crossroads at the Marion Fly-In Cruise-In year 27. And Katie, this all started with, believe it or not, just a simple pancake breakfast back when for the Marion High School Band Boosters. And you've worked with me enough to know I'm very serious about breakfast.
Yes, I know that. We had some breakfast this morning. You made sure we got some of that. So it was really good,
I
too.
said, Katie, have you eaten?
No.
So we watched all these people flipping the pancakes, so we had to have some.
We did. We saw what they were doing, so we made sure we got to try what they were cooking.
Yeah, well, you do have to get up pretty early to get in the fast line for breakfast like we did. But imagine what it's like, how early you have to get here to cook for all these people.
Right.
We found out when it's very dark still at the airport, it's very busy in the hangar. Before the sun or cars or planes, there's the work and the workers.
You're gonna hold the box, I'll grab the trash, you wipe the table, you lay the placemat.
I want you to start making some pancakes though along the way and put them next to your sausage in there. So that when we do get a hit, you're gonna be ready with pancakes to go.
Hundreds of volunteers making thousands of pancakes, most of them a treat. What's your name, Jeff?
Breckenridge, Jeff Breckenridge.
Jeff Breckenridge. And this is the first time you've cooked?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Doesn't it show?
That one does. You've got perfect. I won't say everyone in the line has done that, right? I'm not going to say who, but it's not everyone. But there's some people have a larger discard pile, shall we say? How did you get this perfection going?
I did it last year.
Experience on the line here.
That's right.
Are you an IHOP worker?
No.
Are you trained in working the IHOP batter?
I am not trained in it officially. Today's the first time.
Okay, so how's it going so far?
This thing's awesome.
I know.
Everyone needs one.
I know. If I was working the line, those would come home with me.
Yeah.
It would just be, I would say, IHOP made a contribution to me.
Yeah.
The patience pays off when everyone has plenty to eat. Not a problem for some. Really?
Butter,
really,
syrup,
Mayor Jess? Really?
Yes. Sometimes eat a little more sausage in that, but I'll eat a little light this morning.
So I heard a Democrat likes pork, but you always come early?
Always.
Always?
I get here between 6 and 6:15 usually.
Man.
Get a nice parking place and then go back and probably snooze behind the car.
You're ready to eat, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of trainees on the line today. I'm not going to give away too many secrets, but let's get your review here.
Yeah. Well, so far so good, but the coffee's a little cool.
Coffee's a little cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll send that to management.
Somebody's already went up there and told them.
Get that man some hot coffee and he'll be back again, like so many loyal to this event. It's the magic of the airway that's kept them coming back 27 years in a row. And for those on the line, a chance to flip for a cause.
I believe in Gilead, and I've been on the board for 6 years, and I've lost a loved one to cancer, and they were there for me.
So many people have been touched by him.
It is. It's very important.
Well, it's helping people with cancer, for cancer. So I haven't been personally touched by anybody family that have cancer, but, you know, it touches my heart that they're giving so much to others.
I want to do this because I want to help Gilead, and I think that their message is it's a message of hope, and we all need to participate in that.
Each Labor Day weekend, Marion's skies fill with endless possibilities, while on the ground, it's pancakes and people. With smiles all around and a little extra syrup, they feed the hopes of a community, and in their own way, touch the sky for someone else.
I just watched it right there.
Internet.
Mama bird it?
Okay, we're back at halftime. Where the Marion Giants hold a 13-0 lead over the Anderson Indians in a very important contest, as we mentioned, for the Giants. We're on to even things up for them here in the North Central Conference. They dropped that game last week to Kokomo. They'd love to go to 1-1 with a win here tonight, and got a whole second half to go, but they put together a good first half, especially on the defensive end.
Certainly did. The game against, and by the way, this is the third of 3 straight home games. So it's like Major League Baseball. You play a set at home, and then you go on the road for a while. Well, Giants are going to go on for 2, and then they're going to come back for 2, I believe. And while they're gone, we'll be over at over at Eastbrook in that Miss Cinewall Eastbrook. If you want to throw that up, what great games they're having, getting ready for that game that we're going to do next week.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to take a look at some highlights here of the first half of action. In the first several possessions, Ron, for Marion, I mean, they really moved the football extremely well here. They did it on the ground and through the air.
J.K. Thomas coming, he's just a sophomore, and got great speed. Giants getting great blocking from Brandon Burke there. And this is the man that plays both sides. This is Montreal Pogue as he comes off the tackle.
Well, Pogue maybe was the player of the game in that first half. Burke with the carry there. In a minute here, though, we're going to see after this carry that Johnson to Burke ends up being a really big play here for the Giants.
That was, and then the Johnson, the other touchdown pass from Johnson. Johnson is just, he's just, when they need yards, he either runs or passes.
Well, and that running sets up this play.
Yes, it does. Does a quick dive fake, and Burke runs a little post route and gets the touchdown.
Well, that was a 7-play, 61-yard drive for the Giants, capped off on that 23-yard touchdown from Johnson to Burke. So Anderson, you know what? They looked good on offense a couple times in that first half. They did move the football, but the Giants defense came up each time to make a stop.
Merida and Armstrong, they're nice offensive players for him. Now, this is what problems the Giants have had 4 times on the exchange, on the option. The ball has been jerked out of the hands, and 3 of the 4, they've gotten it back.
Yeah, the one fumble and proved somewhat costly for the Giants in that it didn't result in points, but it stopped a good drive. Again, Anderson moved the ball on the Giants. I don't know what kind of adjustments the Marion defensive coaches made, but if they did make any adjustments, they worked, or maybe it was just having guys play a little smarter.
Well, certainly the Giants could play a little smarter. Right now, everybody's swarming to the ball for the defense. Right here is a great yak yard for Johnson as he gets hit, and he just bowls the guy over and gets an additional 2.
That was a great run, the biggest run of the night from Johnson. Then the little short pass here to Metzger. That was good for another Marion first down. Of course, Metzger.
Good call by the official as he was laying on his back.
Watch this throw, though. Great throw from Johnson to Pogue in the catch.
Montreal Pogue, he has a great catch for a touchdown, but he also has played that defensive side so well.
Well, again, that was another 7-play drive. This one was for 80 yards. Johnson to Pogue on the 36-yard touchdown pass.
Oh,
and this is when that Marion Giant defense really started to kind of stiffen up here.
This is when the Giant defense takes over the game and takes over the Anderson offense. What great pursuit they've had. And, you know, it's not just taking them down, it's taking them down with authority. Driving through the breastplate as they get there and knocking the guy flat on his back. That's what football is all about.
And that Anderson team, again, we said, started that first drive at their own 20, moved the football, but was held on 4th down. After that, there was the interception, and then 3 consecutive punts. Well, other scores from out the county there, Blackford.
Well, that's a surprise.
Big surprise. Over Oak Hill, 27-7. Mississinawa all over Elwood, 35-0. We'll talk about Mississinawa and Eastbrook next week. That setting up a big showdown there. It's Eastbrook, #1 team in the state in 2A.
2 very good offensive teams will go against each other next week over at Eastbrook, and that'll be a fast track over there because they have the turf that Marion has. And when you're on this turf, you just can't believe, if you're on grass, how much quicker the turf is. And that's where the home team has an advantage if the other team has grass.
All right, we're going to check in downstairs on the field with Katie Key. I hope they can hear it because I can't.
I can't. No, they went away from it.
All right, let's talk a little bit more. They had some mic problems down there, but talking about that Mississinawa at Eastbrook game, Eastbrook dropped that game last year at Mississinawa. I know a game they felt was their worst game of the year. They lost the CIC Milk Jug. They weren't happy about that. They didn't play very well. and Mississinawa put together a really nice game. Two really good teams, two really well-coached teams. Should be a really, really good football game.
2 of the last 3 years, Eastbrook has gone over to Mississinawa, and they have what they thought was their worst game of the year over there. Mississinawa tends to do that to other teams, especially at home. And a team like Eastbrook, who has been very dominant for the last 3 decades, when they lose and lose with authority at a, then they've lost to a good program. So it'll be a good game next week, Roger, and we'll be there. We'll be there at Eastbrook and ready to see a lot of athletes get up and down that field.
I know Coach Chambers, we want to thank him for being willing to give a few minutes to Katie Key down there. We'll too close, though, to the second half, so we'll check in with Katie a little bit later on here to see what Coach Chambers had to say to her. But 2 teams warmed up, getting ready here in the second half. Now, Anderson will get the kickoff here to begin the second half, and we'll wait to see if they can make some kind of adjustments. I think they're slow developing plays. They got to try to do something a little bit quicker because the Giant defense is just creating too much havoc up front.
When Anderson puts the ball in Aaron Armstrong, their quarterback's hands, and lets him read the defense, that's where they've had the best success on that option, giving it to Medea or letting him run it himself, because he's very similar to Justin Johnson in the fact that they're both good athletes. But Justin Johnson has proved to be the better of the 2 quarterbacks in the first half because of his throwing, and that has put, you run, you get the defense coming up and trying to stop the run, and then all of a sudden the ball goes deep, and there goes Marion twice with big touchdowns.
Well, getting ready to kick off for the Giants will be Travis Metzger, I believe, in to kick this one away from the Giants. High end over and kick down at the 10-yard line. Good blocking there in a big hole, and there's plenty of room out across midfield. The 40 down to the 20, where he's finally hauled down from behind. That time, Woods is brought down by Jones, but boy, he almost busted that one open, and that's exactly what Anderson needed.
I don't know if we get this on an instant replay, but they come up the middle with a 5-3-2, and once he gets through the 2, they just block everybody out. Let's see, they've got the ball back. It must have been somewhere. There must have been some kind of a penalty that we missed.
Boy, I did not see that.
And it's right there at the 45-yard line of Anderson. So this ball is going to come back from the 18 and probably is going to go 10 yards back, maybe all the way back to the 35-yard line. And that did not need to happen because the guy was well past the play. And so the Giants get a break. What could have been a backbreaker or put Anderson back into the game on a very good 70-yard opening kickoff run of the second half puts them back now at the 35, and the Giants live to keep that domination going.
Yeah.
Nice open field tackle by D'Angelo Jones as he takes him down, and what we didn't know at the time that it wasn't a touchdown save.
In the book, that's a 15-yard penalty, but it's really about a 52-yard penalty.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is.
Boy, just a very disappointing play right there for Anderson. Well, then, a drop on first down. That'll be, let me get a 2nd and 10 for the Anderson Indians.
Christian Ross on the cover that time. The ball was dropped. It could be because Christian Ross was coming up. Christian Ross is another three-year starter, just a junior. He and Anthony Reynolds came up from the middle schools and started for the Giants their freshman year.
And Rayford, I think, just took his eyes off that pass.
That ball was there. That ball was there, but I think that maybe they're just a little gun shy from what happened at the end of the half.
Well, 2nd and 10. Armstrong, here comes the blitz. Under pressure, dumps it off short and incomplete. But you know what? A good read that time from, again, Darryl Brown. We haven't said his name a lot, but he's had a nice ball game.
He is in charge as that linebacker of covering the screen. And you know what? As hard as the line came, linebacker stayed. Watch him come right up there. He's right there, and he would have been there, or one of the two of them would have been there on that screen pass.
Well, it'll be 3rd and long now, 3rd and 10.
Looks like the Giants are coming.
I believe that's probably the first time we've seen that little inside screen.
Uh-huh.
It's a really good idea, just
It
well
is against-
defended. Again, pressure coming up the middle. And now Armstrong on the run is going to be pushed out of bounds after a big loss. Again, on the chase was Brendan Martin for the Giants. He's been all over the place.
You know
as well
what?
tonight.
He is playing the game of his life.
He's
right
only
now.
a sophomore.
And he is chasing Armstrong, and he's every bit as quick as Armstrong. We thought Armstrong was pretty quick, but when you've got a defensive end who's as quick as the quarterback, that puts a little trouble on the offense.
Boy, how big was that penalty, though, on the kickoff? It could have been a first down, momentum with the Indians at the Marion Giant 18-yard line, but instead they're punting from deep inside their own territory.
And that was a short punt of about 30. Yeah, it's going to be 30 yards, but it hit after about 20. Giants back in good shape at the 41-yard line. They almost had to allow Anderson to get back in the game, but a big penalty put them back in three and out, and that's the way it's been for Anderson. Most of this game is 3 and out, as the Giants defense have been the star of the game. I don't know if we'd ever have a star of the game, but you can't just give it to one because there's so many good defensive players on that Giant team.
Pogue has been all over the field. Burke, Martin, many others.
Yep. And the line.
Here's the hand to Burke. That time a good play by the Anderson defender in pursuit, and chasing Burke down from behind was Mandel Hunt.
They're going to get Manny Davis for a hold back in the backfield, and that's going to put the Giants back.
Look at that. Excuse me, that's Justin Steers with the tackle.
I think they're going to get Manny Davis. He was a backside blocker, and so it's not just going to be a 10 yards because it's a spot foul, and he got it 5 yards deep. So this is going to end up costing him 15 yards.
That'll be
think.
That'll be the third Giant penalty.
You know, Manny has done a nice job. It's just too bad he's the one that got caught this time, because that offensive line has been magic for Justin Johnson this whole game.
So it'll be first down and 20. Here's the handoff by Thomas, takes it.
Now this is the freshman now. This is Khalid Stamps.
Oh, that was a change in the backfield, but see, we have another flag down on the field on the near sideline here, and gotta wonder if it's another hold on the Giants, and it is.
I want you to look down there at Will Whitaker. He's got his hands on his hips saying, guys, what's going on? Look at him. He is not happy with that offensive line right now. 2 holding plays in a row have taken the Giants back to the 28-yard line.
Well,
let's call it the 20. Well, it's going to be the 27-yard line. But, you know, Giants have been really good offensively.
Yeah.
But we have said it from the first play until now. Only the Giants have stopped the Giants in this game. Penalties and fumbles have been the bugaboo that have kept the Giants from just really dominating this game.
They had only 2 penalties in the first half. They've already picked up 2 on their first drive here in the second half. Johnson on the run. Now he'll stop and throw, and it's incomplete. I'm not sure his intended receiver, I think, was Metzger. Now we have Katie Key down the sideline. Got that mic working. Let's check in with Katie.
Thank you, Roger. I spoke with head coach Craig Chambers, and they said they're just looking to pick up their offense this second half, and they're just going to continue to just have a really strong defense and just push it out this whole second half. Back to you, Roger.
Well, second down and 24 for the Giants. No, they wanted to see more from their offense.
And Coach Chambers is looking for that. But when you make mistakes, and penalties are mistakes, 2 10-yard penalties, and one was a 15-yard because it was a spot foul 5 yards deep, the Giants are going the wrong way.
Plenty of time. Johnson's going to tuck it in and run. He just ran over one defender. Gets it out across the 35-yard line. Be well short of the first down.
That was a
third down, but a nice gain there. On
nice
second.
hello play from Justin Johnson this time. Ty Morrow comes up to tackle him, and hello, here I come. And that's more yak yardage, yards after contact, as Justin Johnson gets another 2 yards as he bowls over the would-be tackler.
Well, with that gain, it's 3rd and long at 3rd and 14, but you got to play for 3rd and 14. There's a play in your book that you can go for that 3rd and 25.
I think
you don't
got
have
to
much.
pass it here and maybe let him run a little bit before he passes it. Maybe go right with it. I don't.
Stepping up
there
is
he goes,
Johnson.
right. There's
throwing on the run.
Got him. Got
Has
him.
his man complete, first down.
I believe that's out there. That's Braden Burks.
Yeah, Braden Burke with the reception inside Anderson territory on a nice pitch and catch there from Johnson. Bought himself some time, completed the pass.
2 big plays here. Nice comeback from Burks as he gets down, sees his quarterback in trouble, comes back to the ball, and catches it for a first down. 3 big plays after they go about 1st and 25.
Now there's going to be a motion penalty on the Giants, and this one's going to come back, and I think the defense stopped because they saw the flags all over the place.
Justin Johnson thinks he has one, but here again, did you see the speed when he opened it up? He'll come back and he'll make something happen, but the Giants did move, and again, a penalty that stops a very good offensive team from just dominating this game.
Well, before the snap, they had 2 men in motion at the same time, and I think it was Pogue here on the near side who has had a great ball game, but this time.
And this will be 1st and 15, but certainly 1st and 25 didn't hurt them. So they have plays. They have plays, and they have athleticism that allow them to make up big yardage.
Well, it'll be 1st and 15 as the ball is spotted back now at the 48-yard line.
I think it's interesting because you think when a team goes to 1st and long yardage or long yardage at any time, you think they want to throw, but not the Giants. The Giants like to run until you actually make them throw.
In motion, it was Reynolds, and after that
That's
handoff,
the
no
freshman.
running room at all.
Khalid
there.
Stamps, and it was a read play again, I think. It was either read to Reynolds going across or give to him or even let Johnson run the ball. This is triple option. There's the give, and no, actually it's just a straight give on. And when you get 2 guys that beat the defense or offensive line, one of the few times that offensive line just gave up the ball.
2nd down and 20.
Oh, good hit.
Plenty of time. Firing deep, intending that pass for Reynolds, I believe it was. Just a little bit overthrown, but again, plenty of time there for Johnson.
Anthony Reynolds, that's another name that we've called quite a bit from the defensive side, but here he gets his chance to play on the offensive side as a would-be receiver. I don't know if we caught it or not, but Khalid Stamps, the freshman back, got a big hit to protect Justin Johnson so he could get the ball off as he clocked the linebacker coming up the chute.
Giants on top 13-0 with 8:39 to go here in the 3rd quarter. But they're in tough territory here, 3rd and 20. Johnson fires left, incomplete, and he took a shot there as he let go of the football. And
twice in this series, that right side has put pressure on Justin Johnson, and we haven't seen that. Giants are going to go out. Christian Lemons, a very good punter, also again a soccer player, should put this ball down there inside the 20 and put the guys in good shape. He is a good one to elude the runner and kick away from the runner. Let's see if he can get away with that this time.
Penalties really have hurting the Giants on that first possession
nice
of
kick.
The second half. Very good kick, high kick. Takes a hit at the 16. Now it backs up and will roll down at the 15-yard line. And there's a flag on the play, however, so we'll wait to see what this is all about.
And it's thrown just down, about 10 yards down. I don't know exactly what it is. They're talking it over before they call anybody over.
Well, it's thrown right in front of the Marion Giants sideline here.
Let's see. They're talking about how to handle this play. The holding on the return team.
Well, the Giants are going to decline that penalty, though, I believe.
They can take it, I think, down.
Oh, can they take it? Yeah.
I think they can take it down there and make it half the distance, which should put them actually between the 7 and 8.
We talked about that next game here on WIWU next Friday. Mississinewa at Eastbrook. We have the game of the week here on WIWU TV. Ron, that might be the game of the year.
I'll tell you what, it's just two good teams that have been good for the last 3 years, and certainly Mississinewa has proven that they can score points, but their defense this year is very strong. Eastbrook has always been able to score points, and their defense is always strong. It'll be a fight. It'll be a fight over there on State Road 5.
1st and 10 from Anderson, their own 8-yard line. Play action, flag on the play, wide open, across the middle, or a couple Anderson Indians. But
I believe if the Giants have a choice, they'll probably refuse it to go to 2nd down. Let's see what the call is, but I think it was motion.
Update on that Mississinewa game. They've extended their lead to 41-0.
41-0.
Elwood.
So you've got two teams that between them scored almost 100 points between them in their games that are going to meet next week. You talk about a track meet
about
coming
halfway
up.
through the game.
Yeah, track meet's coming up next Friday. It'll be on, as they say. It'll be backyard brawl.
I think there'll be a good crowd next week.
It'll be the Jonesboro Gas City crowd going over to the Van Buren Upland crowd, and it'll be on.
Well, 1st and 15 now. A quick hitter there.
Brandon Martin.
And it'll be, is there a gain on that play at all?
No.
I didn't think so.
They threw it out there, and Brandon Martin, instead of coming across all the play, and he just, instead of coming across, he went to the guy, and it was no gain. And again, that guy is having a game he won't forget about.
2nd down.
They're back there. If the Giants come hard, they could get tackled for a safety. I'm telling you, the Giants look like they're bringing the linebackers. Here they come.
Play action, and there it is.
Brandon Martin again.
There's the safety. Martin gobbles him up in the end zone.
Let's see if we get, I think we'll get a replay here. But here comes Brandon Martin, the game of his life defensively, and he eats that up.
Well, and again, it was not just Martin around the quarterback that time, but there's 3 and 4 Giants swarming to the football.
And he's almost out the end zone in the back. Brandon Martin, here was Dre Aguilar coming on the other side from his defensive end spot.
Well, after the penalty and then the safety, the Giants will go on top 15 to nothing, and now Anderson will have to kick it away to Marion.
You know, and you think back, remember the kickoff of the opening kickoff of the half where Anderson got the ball down to the 15-yard line on a run, only to have it called back, and since then it's been all downhill for Anderson. Anderson had a chance to get back in this ball game the very first play, and a mistake took him right back out. Mistakes since then have taken him out because the Giants have been much more aggressive than they are, beating their linemen and getting in the backfield on a regular basis.
All righty. So Anderson will have to kick it away from their own 20-yard line. Here's the free kick, and Stamps bobbled it. Now it's picked up. Nice move. Taylor at the 30, 35, and down to the 30.
They were both down there to pick it up, and where did Keyshawn Taylor.
I'm going to tell you what. There was a burst of speed right there.
Oh, my goodness. But
and you heard the crowd.
They tackled, though, Khalid Stamps, who did not pick up the ball.
Well, we haven't talked about or haven't seen Taylor
Here we
all
have
night
it
long.
on the replay, and here is Taylor coming up and making a nice move, getting the Giants back down in great field position on the Anderson 30. You know, it's Giants winning all three battles, the battles of offense, defense, and specialty teams, and ahead 15-0. The defense has actually made a score with a safety, 2 offensive plays, the extra point from the specialty team and the kickoff, the punch by Christian Lemons. I tell you what, all 3 teams are in high gear right now. We just need to see more points.
Well, and after the play was dead, the Giants are going to pick up another 15 yards on an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, so now it'll be 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Has to be a frustration.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you what, though. When Keyshawn Taylor picked up that football, he went from 0 to 60 instantly.
Yes, he did.
Boy, that was a burst of speed.
Looked like a sprinter.
Here is Johnson on the keeper.
And there is Justin Johnson on the tackle, the quarterback from the other side of the ball. You know, the Giants have a lot of confidence going right now, and Anderson just doesn't have anything for that aggressiveness that the Giants have.
A gain of 2 yards will be 2nd down and 8. The Giants, with 7:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter, really looking to put this one away if they can score a touchdown here. Pogue, who's in the backfield. Oh, actually, that's not Pogue for the Giants. That's Darrell Brown steps up. Rolling left, Johnson fires across to Burke. It was tipped away at the last moment. That one was a little bit behind Burke.
Burks was open. Burks was open on that slant. Here it comes on our play from the guys, and it was just thrown behind him. He was open, though. He had 2 steps on the defender, and Justin Johnson wishes he had that one back.
Well, it'll be 3rd down and 8 now.
If this doesn't go, they are in field position. We have seen Sam a couple of times try field goals. Coach Chambers believes in Sam as a field goal kicker. He believes in all of his kicking, but I know he'd like to see this touchdown happen.
Johnson once again on the post. Caught! No, it was dropped. Metzger, I thought, had it for just a moment, but couldn't hang on to the football.
Well, you got 4th down. You're gonna kick it, or you're gonna go for it. This is the first real big decision of the game, what to go for, and I think we've got the answer. Here's this little slant play again, and it's in his hand, and he drops it. Metzger, ball this time was thrown well. Metzger felt the defender coming and drops the ball.
Well, Travis Metzger, a junior for the Giants, and you know those are the ones when you go home at night you think about that one. But boy, you gotta, it's easier said than done, but you gotta forget about those and go get the next one, don't you?
Yep, you sure do.
Well, on 4th down, Johnson's gonna roll, tries to keep it, throws in the end zone, and it's over the head of the intended receiver, incomplete.
Looks like Burks.
Yep. Burke was making a play on that football, but it was just a little too high. It had to be high with the way the defender was in front. But
if Braden Burke has any problem, it's that he's 5'10". He's 5'10". Size, he's just a little small size, but he outplays his body, really. He's one of these guys that plays so hard.
You know, Johnson does a great job keeping the play alive.
Burke actually turns that up. He ran a drag coming across. He sees his quarterback coming, and he turns it up, trying to get the touchdown. They actually had Metzger coming across on a drag the other way, deeper.
Well, the Anderson Indians will take over at their own 13-yard line.
Anderson, we don't have the actual yardage, but certainly since the middle of the 2nd quarter, Anderson's been in negative yards.
Yeah.
Big time negative yards. They were really in this ball game moving the ball in the 1st quarter, but they just couldn't get that 2nd or 3rd first down to keep a drive going. And since then, though, the Giants have come hard with the ends and at times with the linebackers and have just hustled the offensive line for Anderson.
Their first couple drives, they picked up a couple first downs. They were moving the football. Their second drive ended in that interception in the end zone. And from that time, they've not been able to produce anything. And this one is nearly picked off.
And it may be.
The coaches are calling for an interception, but the officials are going to say it was incomplete.
Braden Martin makes a great play on this, but probably an ill-advised pass from Aaron Armstrong for Anderson as he's coming up to the line of scrimmage. Just doesn't have enough to get it deep enough for the receiver. Braden Burke comes underneath and gets the knockdown. Could have been a interception, and I think Marion's happy with what they see.
And once again, the Armstrong under pressure. And maybe that time wasn't as much pressure as he thought he was or felt like he was, but
yeah, I thought
after you get hit a few times, everything looks like pressure. Armstrong. This time that pressure is real. He loses it. The ball is loose. And
Brown.
I think it's Brown on the bottom of that pile with the football. It is.
Good job by number 8, Dre Aguilar, as he comes up from his left defensive end spot, strips the quarterback deep. He gets a tackle for loss, a fumble cause, and then Darryl Brown gets the fumble recovery at the 2.5-yard line.
The second turnover of the evening for the Anderson Indians, and this time the Giants will have it first and goal at the 1-yard line.
You know, don't forget about Zach Randolph was there too. He came at the same time Christian Ross showed up. So as we said before the game, the Giants are like killer bees. They go after you. They usually don't just hit you with one guy. They got the strip, but they had 4 guys there for the tackle.
Andre Aguilar was celebrating that fumble before it was recovered. But regardless, the Giants will have it first and goal. They'll spot it at the 2.
Giants are in a double tight. They've got all backs inside of the tight ends.
Well, now they need a timeout.
Well, I think, I don't know if Anderson called or Marion did, but somebody didn't know what was going on.
Johnson stepped back from center and called for the timeout. Didn't like what he was seeing there. 5:38 to go here in the third quarter. The Giants on top by 15, looking to extend that lead. Well, don't forget, folks, join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for IWU men's soccer as they host one of the top teams in the country, Rio Grande from Rio Grande, Ohio. That'll be tomorrow night, 7 p.m. WIWU TV, and also streaming on ESPN3 and on Facebook Live. Should be a great night for soccer.
I'll tell you what, hasn't this been a wonderful summer and early fall? Wow.
It's been a great start to the school year for IWU sports.
It's
cross country and volleyball off to a tremendous start. Men and women's soccer.
But our hearts go out to the people in Texas and Florida right now. That's the devastation that nature can cause is just much more than mankind can cause on himself.
Well, here we go. First and goal. Johnson. Handoff. Brown just powers his way after his hit in the back
touchdown
field, but he goes in for the touchdown. I was waiting for the call. It looked like he got in.
Yeah, it took a while for the far linesman to come across and give the official. But they went to a double tight. It looked almost like the old power I and just played power football with Anderson.
Well, 2-yard touchdown drive. One play after the turnover, and Darryl Brown, he was hit about a yard or 2 back in the backfield, and he just drug a couple defenders in the end zone.
How important, Roger, is yak yardage? Yak, you get contact, but you still continue to go.
Well, with the extra point from Vermillion, which is right through the uprights, the Giants now extended the lead 22-0. Now they are firmly in control of this football
game.
Here
comes the dive play, and Darryl Brown just keeps going and going. He's hit by 3 guys, but he gets into the end zone. That's where you look at how important is it that what your back is doing once he gets hit. Yak yardage can be yards after catch or yards after contact, as we saw on the run that time for touchdown.
Well, 5:32 to go here in the third quarter. After the extra point, the Giants extend the lead to 22-0. They'll kick it off to the Anderson Indians, and Ron Anderson's got to figure out something to make something positive happen on the offensive end and just try to now at this point, get their defense off the field for a little bit. Give them some breathing.
It has been all Marion since I would guess the middle of the second quarter, but certainly these points, they've got to right now go down again and convince Anderson that all they need to do is just finish this.
Lemons with the kickoff, a low line drive. In trouble back inside the 15 for Anderson. That was Woods. No running room.
Two flags down there, Roger.
At the point of the tackle, I wonder if it's against Anderson. I wonder if we're going to see another
holding
face
maybe.
mask. But
Woods that time ran into his own man.
Yeah.
You know, it's bad enough when you're getting hit by the other team, but when your own man hits you, it's not very good at all.
Boy, once again, just terrible starting field position here for Anderson. Their first drive after a penalty punt.
And you
know, they're at the 35. They're on 35, which wasn't bad. But after that, they're on 8-yard line, then they're on 13, and now they're going to have to start this drive back their own 5-yard line.
Look for those two defensive ends to just haul and come after the play. The defensive ends have had 4 great series where they've come and tackled for loss. That's Aguilar and Martin.
The inside handoff, nothing. In fact, it's going to lose a couple yards. And right now, that front 4 and the linebackers, like you said, for Marion, they're just teeing off.
It's a tackle, I believe, by Metzger.
Yep.
From his outside backer position.
So now, well, they're going to mark as forward progress.
But it is a tackle for loss, about a yard loss.
About a yard loss, and it'll be second down and 11. Boy, a very tight formation here on the near side with the 3 wideouts. Armstrong with the keeper. Oh, he almost broke that one free, but a nice gain on second down.
Montreal Pogue on the shoestring tackle. Great tackle to keep what could have been a big play for Anderson.
So the gainer on.
Here's the replay of that. Here's shoestring tackle. Look at this. And literally a shoestring tackle as he takes him down, tackling the 1 foot.
Well, if not for that tackle, Armstrong clearly picks up a first down and maybe more.
Yeah,
well,
and
it's
there's
3rd and
nobody
1 now.
deep because Burke had already come up.
Armstrong waiting for the snap here.
Here comes the linebackers.
This is man in motion keeper. The pitch back.
Oh, my.
Oh, and that one is just blown up in the backfield by, again, number 7, Darryl Brown with the tackle.
Darryl Brown, and again, now we're starting to hear more names come in with big hits. Watch this hit from Darryl Brown after the pitch. Darryl Brown reads the pitch. Aguilar has it. Here comes Brown. Big hit.
Well, actually, was that Metzger in
Metzger
on that?
Metzger slowed him down. Brown came in and cleaned him up.
Well, and that's what good teams, when they're playing good team defenses, someone is making the hit low.
You get that
someone
swarm.
Cleans it up.
You get that swarm, and you get guys coming from all sides. You're not going to break the tackle.
Well, it'll be 4th and 3 here.
Giants should be in great field position. Now we got a guy coming in late.
Well, yeah,
he's offside. So got to be a flag.
And there is no flag. I don't think
he
was so far away from the play that I don't think the officials saw him, but one of the Anderson players
30 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Oh, easily. I don't know how you don't have a penalty there unless he was just so far away from the action.
5 officials out there, and they all missed him.
And Jim Brunner, down a good friend down the other, and on the radio, is apoplectic. He cannot believe it.
Unbelievable. But I tell you, Giants in great field position. We said they needed to come in with more points. Defense has done their job every time. Offense now is just really getting in gear.
Well, it'll be first down for the Giants at the Anderson 37-yard line. Great field position. Johnson, plenty of time. Pulls it in. He runs, has room 30. 25 and out of bounds at the 22 or 23-yard line. A pickup of about 15 yards.
We haven't dwelled on the fact that Justin Johnson did not play last year. He played as a sophomore down in Indianapolis, where Coach Chambers coached. He came up, he didn't get his eligibility in time, had to sit out all last year. This young man is truly a leader. He's a great, he makes great decisions, and he's got all the athleticism to go with it.
6-foot senior has 3 wideouts now to the right, 1 to the left, inside handoff. Not much running room there for Brown, but he does gain a couple positive yards as he picks up 2 and gets down to about the 22-yard line.
When I coached with the Giants for over 40 years, and it happened to just, it worked well with me as a guidance counselor when the coaches would come in to recruit our kids. I'd say to them, well, you know what? You can't teach quick. You can't teach great speed, because those two things are natural. You can get a little quicker, but you can't teach that natural speed. Johnson has that natural speed that is just God-given, and he uses it quite well.
2nd down, 9 for the Giants. Ball to the 21-yard line. Under pressure, going to corner of the end zone. Did he catch it? Oh, he did catch it, but he's out of bounds.
Oh, what a great catch, though. I tell you, J.K. Thomas.
Yes.
Turns around to catch the ball. He had a foot on the line. I think it was a good call, but what a great effort by J.K. Thomas and certainly Justin Johnson.
And a good throw by Johnson. He had to put it to the outside.
Here we have the Johnson getting the ball, looking deep right away, getting the ball, throwing it high, and letting J.K. run. Yeah, and he did touch the line. Good call by the official, but a great play nonetheless.
About a size 10 shoe from being a touchdown. So anyways, it's 3rd down and 9 now. Inside handoff and nothing doing for Darryl Brown. As that time, the Anderson Indian defense sniffs that one out, and so it'll be 4th down for the Giants. And do they go for it here, or do they let maybe Sam try a long
you're right
field
on
goal?
the edge. It would be a 40-yard field goal. I think Sam has that ability. It's just he hasn't hit one all year. What do you do here? They're talking down there as a group. I think it's interesting. You've got 6 coaches down there talking to the quarterback, and let's see what comes out of it.
Well, looks like they're going to go for it here. And I wonder sometimes if you allow, in this situation when you're up 22-0 with just about a minute left to go, see what that unit can do on a long field goal situation in live game action. But looks like the Giants are going to go for it. Now they're going to call timeout.
I think that's a good observation on your part. When you really need that, like they needed it against Kokomo.
Exactly.
He actually allowed Sam to kick one from about 42 that got blocked when the score was actually tied. The kid from Kokomo had the opportunity to come in from about 35, and he hit his.
Well, don't miss Crossroads weeknights at 7 and 10 p.m. on WIWU TV. We're now starting our, look at this, 13th season of covering the people, the places of Grant County. This week on location at the Marion Fly-In Cruisin'. That's Crossroads, your friends and neighbors, weeknights on WIWU TV.
And you don't want to miss the interview with the lady pilot. She is something special. And that camera work on the plane. Wow.
And now, Ron, I know you are a legendary pancake flipper.
I have. I was with the Exchange Club for a long time and was taught by Jack Colescott, another Grant County legend, to cook pancakes. And I still volunteer for Jack whenever he wants me to go over and cook pancakes. And Jack, at the age that he is, and he's older than 30 now, but they do that for the Exchange Club.
Well, here we go on 4th down. Johnson's going to roll out. He's going to tuck it and run. Makes a move. He makes another move at the 10, the 5. It goes into the end zone for the touchdown.
Athleticism. That's all athleticism and making good decisions.
And how many tacklers did he make whiff on that play?
And that's exactly what they did. They whiffed. They went for the 1 foot, and you know, you teach them how to plant on your outside foot and cut the other way. He did it, and that was a textbook way of showing that it does take good fundamentals to be a very good quarterback.
Well, a spectacular touchdown run by Juice Johnson puts the Giants on top now, 28-0. Extra point is good from Vermillion, make it 29-0. But Juice Johnson with maybe the play of the game right there.
Yeah, I think that put them away for sure. Interesting note, we're going to look at this touchdown run right here. The guys have brought it up for us. What a great run it is. Good step, good move. Now he goes back from his seam plant and drive. That is taught, and that is something that you do naturally. There's the ROTC people down on the field doing the 29 push-ups.
We're going to check in down on the field with Katie Key.
Thank you, Roger. And as you see, the ROTC members and students are down there, and they're doing push-ups. And it's just a way for them to show some school spirit and just motivation to the football crowd and to the football team, just that they're with them and that they're supporting them, and a way for them just to get involved every football game. Back to you, Roger.
Well, Ron, we were talking before the game, and thanks, Katie, that this ROTC program, Marion, really has grown over the last several years.
It came in when I retired, and the leaders up there have done very well. And you have people who are students who are very loyal to the ROTC program. It teaches them discipline. They are become very much better academic kids. But the ROTC program at Marion has been a real boom for them.
Well, that four-play, 37-yard touchdown drive capped off by the 22-yard touchdown run by Juice Johnson gives the Giants a 29-point lead. And on the kickoff, boy, there's a big hit inside there. And Anderson, though, will begin their drive at their own 25. But at least they're not inside their 10. They have really been stuck back deep.
Huh.
50 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Here's the pitch back. Woods looking for some room to run, and just nothing there.
10 guys at the point of attack. 10 tacklers at the point of attack.
You talked about Jack Colescott. You say he taught you.
He taught me how to cook pancakes.
What has that man not taught over
Well,
the
I
years?
would tell you, I was in his class when I was at Marion High School, and he was the only guy I ever knew that taught the Civil War from firsthand experience. That's a Jack Colescott, and that's my Jack Colescott, and he laughs at that every time I say it. But Jack's been around for a long time, certainly at Marion, but he's also been a real boon to the Grant County and certainly to Indiana Wesleyan.
And this Thursday, Ron, little side note, we celebrate the 28th Jack and Marge Colescott golf scramble that raises funds for athletics at Indiana Wesleyan University. There's a pass on second down, incomplete.
And Marge has been gone for a few years now, but she's certainly not forgotten, and certainly she was the one that made Jack go.
That's the end of the third quarter. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the fourth quarter of action right after this. You're watching the high school football game of the week here on WIWU TV.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
I love having the reporters on the sideline.
Yes.
I love that. All right, back here at Dick Luton Stadium. We are ready to start the fourth quarter of action. It's 3rd and 11 for Anderson. Armstrong under pressure is rolling. Good job of containment there by the Giants defensively.
Maybe.
Almost picked off. But Andre Aguilar that time.
And
Great
Montreal
job
Pope,
containing,
both of them were there. And you know what? He was going the wrong way. He almost took a safety. Nice job by J.K. Thomas over there, who's in on defense, I believe. And here he comes off now. But anyhow, a great defensive effort by the Giants that time, pitching a shutout. And shutouts doesn't happen very many times. I was going to mention one fact that I'd be remiss with Sam Vermillion kicked extra points last year. He was the leader for the conference all season until the last season, and the guy from Jeff kicked more, like 2 more than what he did to take the. But certainly, extra points have been an automatic pretty much for the Giants over the last 2 years.
Bad kick that time will set up the Giants in outstanding field position. They'll be inside Anderson territory at the 45-yard line. And just finishing up on that thought, you know, the more competitive you are, the closer the games, the more games, those extra points in high school aren't always automatic, but if you have a kicker that you can certainly rely on in that situation. Now, an extra points is not just a kicker. It's the snap, it's the hold, and the kick, and all 3 of those parts have to work.
Anthony Reynolds has taken over today, and he's been real good. Eli Lutens has been with Sam for the last 3 years, has been a great holder for him.
Johnson on the keeper will lose a yard. He's taken out at the 46-yard line.
Do you notice one thing that was cleaned up at halftime? And that was the interchange between the quarterback and the back. We have not seen that fumble that we saw 4 times in the first half. And I know the coaches got together and said, you guys, you have got to let our quarterback read this. And when they do it, quarterback pushes hard to the belly, they take it, and if they doesn't push, then they don't take it. And that's always been the rule since I was a young guy, and it's just fundamentals. Oh.
Boy, that was trouble there. And boy, look at that.
Oh, my.
Look at that. Still on his feet inside the 40, inside the 35-yard line.
Yak yards. Oh, my.
J.K. Thomas looked like he was going to go down for about a loss of 10 yards. And next thing you know, he's got the big gainer down to the 35. Let's see, 33 here.
He got hit all the way back here at the 50, broke loose, so he got 17 yak yards. Or maybe it's more than that. Let's see, he's on the, let's see where he gets hit. Right there at the 50. He goes back to the 30 or the 44. He gets a nice block there from Justin Johnson and gets down to the 33-yard line. So he picks up over 20 yards on after contact.
Indians are starting to unravel here a little bit as jumping off sides will cost them 5 yards, and so make it that much easier for the Giants.
I guess if you're Anderson, you know when you give up a yard or a play like just happened with J.K. Thomas, this is not your night.
No. So now it's 1st and 5. Giants really have a lot of opportunities here. Johnson's going to keep it right side, turns it upfield, 1st down and more, inside the 20 and knocked out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Good turnout block by Metzger at the point of attack.
This drive started at the Anderson 45. The Giants have got it down to the 15 now. They'll have it 1st and 10 there.
I think when we have the replays that the guys in the truck do so well, you need to watch more than just the ball carrier. You need to watch all that's going on with the other 10 players. Metzger that time got a key block and got him extra yards, some 6 or 7 extra yards because he got the guy at the point of attack. And many times we don't watch that. We just watch the guy go through the hole.
Well, this was a penalty that I missed, but way on the far sideline, there was a flag, and now they're going to mark off 15 yards with a personal foul on the Giants. Now,
I think the coaches want to know who is it on and what happened.
Well, now instead of 1st and 10.
So it must have been after the play.
Yeah.
It must have been a dead ball foul because it is 2nd down now.
Yeah, it's 2nd and we'll call it 7, but it really looks about closer to 8 yards.
Yes.
All right, well, here we go. Johnson. As the
Blitz.
Indians blitz. Lions, excuse me, the Giants pick it up. Johnson's still alive. Dumps it off short. It's incomplete. That ball hit the ground.
Yes, it did. No 75-cent hop. You ever play that when you were a kid?
Oh, absolutely. Dollars up.
Dollars up, 75 cents first pass. Yeah, that's an old game.
I tried to explain that game to a few kids this summer. They looked at me like I was crazy.
Yep. Oh, no, he might have got that.
Boy, that.
But his leg was down.
That's actually probably a little bit of
is.
a break for the Giants because that would have been a loss.
Do you sense that this is everybody's getting tired?
Yeah.
Just a little sloppy right now.
Yeah.
A little. It's not as crisp as it has been offensively for the Giants.
Juice Johnson rolling to his left, throwing out there. It's tipped and incomplete. And again, that one was a catchable pass, it looked like, at least from here.
Yeah. Are we calling him Juice now? Is that I heard you call him Juice.
That's
Juice
what I've
Johnson?
heard Jeff France say a few
Well,
times.
if that's, I mean, you know, it's Justin, so Juice could come out of that. Or JJ, I don't know. It's not like we don't have enough to do, but yes, you're right. That should have been caught.
You know, and you talked about things getting a little sloppy here and teams being tired. I can see where the Anderson defense might be a little bit tired because they've been on the field. But really, this Giant offense should not be tired. I wonder if it's just a matter of focus right now because it's not hot out. This game has moved rather quickly. Well, on 4th down. He's got a ton of time. Going deep for Burke. Gets incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, and so the Giants will turn it over on downs.
That was a case where he had plenty of time to throw. He just too much arm. He was kind of locked in on his 2 wideouts, and he went right with it and just ran out of room in the back of the end zone.
Well, a drive that started at the 45 looked promising. Was stunted by that big personal foul penalty instead of a 1st down, you know, at the 20.
We got a good picture here of Will Whitaker talking to him. He's not happy with the guys for that series because they let people through for basically the first time all game. And Will's got him down there, and he is taking them to the woodshed.
Well, Anderson will take over at their own 31-yard line. Here's the inside handoff. Not much running room there. And a bunch of Giants led by Martin once again inside there to make the tackle. Also in there for the Giants, you know, Anthony Reynolds was there. Some of the names we said quite a bit tonight.
Yes. It's
Darryl Brown.
We've mentioned Zach Randolph a couple of times. We've mentioned Montreal. The bookends over there with Aguilar and Martin have done a great job. Certainly Anthony Martin deep with Burke.
Oh, inside handoff goes nowhere. And down there at the bottom of the pile for the Giants, Xavier Gilbert with the big stop.
You know what? You don't have to be a starter to knock people silly because here comes a guy and he just clocks him right there.
He blew that play up.
He said, hello.
Yeah, and the key, especially when you're at that defensive tackle position, is he played low, he stayed low, and he just blew the play right up.
Actually, he's been down there for a while, and that's the other man that we have not mentioned on the line, and he is certainly doing his job. He's getting double-teamed this time.
Armstrong on the run. Throws it deep, and it is knocked away, incomplete. In on the coverage for the Giants. Back there was J.K. Thomas.
You had 3 guys there. You had Dre Aguilar chasing him. That's the way the whole game has been. You've had pressure on the quarterback and good coverage by the defensive secondary.
Well, in this second half, the Indians' offense has been completely shut down by this Giants defense. They punted on the 1st down. The Giants were able to force a safety on that second possession, a fumble then on the third where they took over, a couple punts, and this will be the third punt in a row here.
Well, they're not going to punt.
Well, they're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it from the 29-yard line.
4th and 12. Quick hitter caught, but well short of the first down. The Giants let him have that completion, but they contained him, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
J.K. Thomas standing over there. He makes the nice hit to give the ball to the Giants there at the Anderson 36-yard line. Giants in great field position. Been there all second half. Great hit right there. Boom, boom. Received down.
Well, the Giants will have it 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. 7:49 to go here, and so, well, Ron, you'd love to see Marion to be able, on this possession, just to pound the football, keep it on the ground.
You would, and again, we saw Will Whitaker, that offensive line of Keyshawn Palmer, Manny Davis, Gabe Watkins, Desmond Johnson, and Connor Brown have done a nice job protection.
Well, Johnson's going to go down.
Again, sloppy. They've won the game. They know they got the game. Right now, the defense is pitching a shutout, but the offense still has something to prove.
Well, at some point here with the 29-0 lead, you wonder maybe if Coach Chambers is going to think about getting Justin Johnson out of this ball game.
I have not seen it.
Carver maybe, but
he has played, to my knowledge, maybe every play of the first 4 games.
Boy, look at this formation defensively.
J.K. got Anderson.
They had all 11 guys up on the line of scrimmage, and now here's a penalty after the play.
A little bit of extracurricular activity. That was Khalid Stamps on the carry, by the way. I didn't mean to cut you off, but they did a nice job. They brought everybody up the middle, and Khalid Stamps, the freshman, takes it to the outside, gets a nice gain, and then they get 15 yards tacked on top of it. Nice bounce right here. And then they
That's just a dumb play right there. But
did not see that. Well, the official was standing right there, but
just a little bit of a frustration play there.
Yeah, and we've seen that. We've seen some frustration from Anderson. Anderson came off of a big win over Muncie Central.
Did.
They scored 35, but remember, they also gave up 28 to Muncie. So,
well, with that penalty, it's going to be a Marion first down inside the 20 now, with the spot will be down at the 19-yard line, so they'll set up shop there.
You've got a second string back there in Khalid Stamps. You've got Montreal Pogue playing, and they're in a split with a tight end of Dre Aguilar, and they've got 2 guys to the right side. So you might think they're heavy right, they're probably going to run right.
But you look at this Anderson defense, they're playing 9 guys up in the box here before the snap.
Well, Marion's not going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
However, I saw them throw the ball down up at Huntington in a big surprise move, so I shouldn't say they're not going to throw the ball.
Well, if you have a play that maybe they can't, boy, Johnson got hit in the backfield, pulls away, gets it inside the 15 down to the 12-yard line where he's taken down there. Took a big hit after that.
Yeah, that
run.
young man, this is where you're wondering, should he be out yet, or should but Coach Chambers knows what he's doing. He's got a good team. He wants this team to they were ranked early, and I don't know if they're still ranked after that loss to Kokomo, but they still should be. Look at those feet. Look, I mean, he plants and goes, and you work on those every day.
2nd and 3, handoff, and boy, trying to get outside there with Stamps, but he's going to be knocked back for a loss of a couple yards. He actually, though, does a good job at the very end, staying in bounds.
He does.
Keeping the clock running.
He does, and just a freshman, Khalid Stamps, 5'5", 155 pounds, and that may be when he's getting out of the shower and he's all wet, but he doesn't look like 100.
We're going to see a guy next week in Mr. Andrew Barajas, who's not a big carrier, but with his speed and what he does, you don't have to be big to be
no, and
an
that's
explosive football player.
You know, the pros, or not all, but some have a guy that's 5'8" or under because they squirt through the holes. But now when they get hit, they go down quick.
Play action. Throw across the midfield. In the end zone. Touchdown, Metzger.
Now, which one was supposed to get it? Well, Metzger got it because he's the bigger of the two.
Well, Travis Metzger thought he should have had one earlier in this third quarter, but that time he went up high and pulled it down in for the score. And the Giants now on top 35-0.
Well, I shouldn't say he's not going to throw. Because if you don't try to guess what the Marion Giants are going to do offensively, because once you do, you're going to get beat.
Well, in for the extra point is Sam Vermillion. And part of me thinks, though, that if Anderson is going to come up in the box like that, well, then the Giants are going to throw a little bit.
Yeah, well, and that's smart. But again, you think, well, you got it 29 to nothing. But I tell you what, the Giants have waited for a long time for a team that can score points.
Yeah.
And Coach Chambers is not going to disappoint the fans that have come out here to see him.
There's the snap. The kick is up. It's perfect. And now, well, flags all over the place after this. And this is where someone's got to take control here of this situation. You don't want to get this little chippy stuff getting into something.
Yeah, because you can get tossed out. If you get tossed out right now, you're going to miss the next game.
Yeah.
What a great play by Metzger. Big kid goes up. He's 6 foot, 190 pounds, and he's played offense and he's played defense. And another one of those guys that go both ways that don't seem to tire out.
Travis was born here in Marion. Then his parents moved back to their home state of Iowa, and recently moved back. His father, Brad, administrator here at Marion Community Schools. His mom,
that's right,
working out at Indiana Wesleyan. So they're no strangers to Marion. They've just been gone for a while and have come on back.
And you know, and that's where your family, the parents and the kids are involved in a family deal. In this case, you know, I've always said football and sports are a family thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your family is involved not only with the school system, but also with the university that's in town. I mean, that's an amazing thing where you can touch a lot of lives through the husband, the wife, and the kids.
You know, and what I liked about that grab there, you teach this and your coach has got, go up and get that ball and get it at its peak. Don't wait for it. He went and got it.
Climb and get it.
Well, here in to kick it off for the Giants will be Christian Lemons. He's done a really good job kicking the football here in this football game. Just as I say that, he kicks it out of bounds. But
that's a broadcaster's curse. That's
yep.
That's what it's called. But you're right. And this, the one thing I like about what Coach Chambers has done here, since he's the coaches and the kids all buy into the family situation, and you make long and fast friendships that last. You know, my kids play here, and some of their best friends still 25, 30 years later are their friends from the teams that they played on.
Well, we talked about Jack Colescott. I got a great story. I shared it with you before the game, but Wendell Cates played on Jack's
another
team.
Giant, by the way, not only basketball but football.
Exactly, but he shared how when he was on Jack's final team, and he said, Coach Colescott said, my job here, boys, is to make you gentlemen.
That's right.
And then along the way, maybe we'll win a few basketball games. And, you know, in terms of priorities and in terms of development and teaching, I mean, that's what it's all about. And I don't know that anyone did it any better than Jack Colescott.
Jack Colescott is a legend because of the gentleman that he is, the teacher that he is. Still, he is every bit the teacher he was for about 30 years in the Marion system.
Boy,
nice
that was a big break there for Anderson. But now they'll be back at their 25-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 20 now. Have to wait and get the sticks set here.
Well, Marion and Anderson will be tied after this game in the conference, but certainly there's no comparison as to where each team is.
Well, and this sets up for Marion, you know, a really big, you know, opportunity for them next week as they go on the road at Richmond. And, you know, Richmond has had their struggles this year, but you know, if the Giants can take care of business there, then they're at Lafayette Jeff, and how big a game will that be?
That Lafayette Jeff is the pick to win the conference. A nice screen pass that time for Anderson as they throw the ball up the middle, take on, and that's the things they need to do there is to move the ball, to have a little bit of success for them to go. The Giants in no way want to let this happen because they pitched a nice shutout. Here's the replay on that. Here comes the Giants. Nice throw, nice catch, and you have Brown there on the tackle.
Well, with that big pickup on second down, it makes it a 3rd and manageable, at least 3rd and 8 now for Anderson. Gives them an opportunity to convert here. Here's another dump off out of the backfield, and that's a 1st down for the Indians as they get it out across midfield into Giant territory at the 48-yard line. And I think that's kind of what we were looking for, those kinds of plays here at the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and we said that we would have called them a lot earlier because the Giants had just been sending those that line, shooting gaps and going after them. And, of course, if they're not blocking them, they've been doing a lot of tackling in the backfield.
And I think, according to what I have, that's the first time Anderson has picked up a 1st down here in the second half from scrimmage. Incomplete pass there, make it 2nd 10. But that, I believe, is the first down for Anderson.
I think they're getting close. They're in Giant territory where they haven't been for, I don't know, have they been there yet? This may be the first time. You see Big Will right there telling his guys, you stay in your assigned lanes and make sure you are under control, because if they don't, the way Armstrong scrambles, allow him to get out and make something happen.
Boy, under pressure is Armstrong. Who's rolling back? No, just have to dump that one off along the sideline. Incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Can you imagine the nightmares he's going to have tonight?
Well, he's been on the run all night.
He has been running the wrong way when he gets the ball, because the Giants, in that time, certainly there was, 3 of the Giants' 4 defensive linemen right in his face.
You know, when we talked to both of these coaches earlier this week, their answers to the question about the opposing team's quarterback was virtually the exact same answers. In fact, they did say the exact same thing. They said, he's awesome. But the difference has been how the Giants' defense have put the pressure on Armstrong, whereas the Giants' offensive line has done a great job protecting Justin Johnson.
He is an athlete.
Yeah.
And Anderson, I've been in the school system since 1962, and Anderson, yeah, that far back. That's back when you wrote on the cave walls. But anyhow, Anderson was always known for having great athletes, quickness, guys who could just outrun you. But it hasn't always been that they've had the line to protect those guys, and that's what we've seen tonight. Yeah. They just haven't been able to protect the skilled kids.
Well, 4th and 12. Anderson's going to go for it here, see if they can't get something going there. Looks like someone's offsides. Here's a bomb across the middle, and it's just going to be an easy interception there by Braden Burke. I thought, honestly, maybe the Giants had jumped off sides there a little bit. There is no penalty flag.
And that'd been a good one for him to drop, because the ball would have come back here to almost the 50. But instead the Giants, but you can't tell that to a kid who's played his heart out and sees a chance to jump on the ball. He's going to do it. Good pressure again. Burke's playing center field, and there he is playing center field, catches the ball. A nice tackle, open field tackle there by the Anderson guy. But the Giants are ahead 36-0 with 2:40, and the Giants really just need to kind of kill the clock here and count it up as a win.
Let's see if Anderson just kind of goes back to their basic defensive formations here. It looks like they do. They do blitz. Oh, it's a fumble. But the Giants are able to pick it up. Well, that could have been.
Is that a new
loss.
team in? I think we might have a new team in there. New quarterback. Do we have a new quarterback maybe?
Well, Keyshawn Taylor is in the lineup. Yeah, it's Taylor in at quarterback for the Giants that time, and it was a good pitch that time from Taylor. Actually hit Stamps right in the.
Yeah, it was. He pushed it right at him. Good recovery though. Giants don't want to lose the ball down here and allow that shutout to go.
Well, we saw Taylor on the one kick return where he picked up the loose ball and almost busted it loose. Taylor is picked up and dropped rather rudely at the 18-yard line, but he gets a few yards back on that play, and we'll set up a 3rd down and 6.
We've got some new new guys in. Here comes the replay, and he keeps it. Nice nose-to-nose tackle there. Keyshawn Taylor, really his first time that we've seen him as a quarterback. We've seen him out on the field, but as a quarterback, and he's running this second-string Giant team.
Taylor keeps it, working to left side, turns it upfield. He's working towards first down. He's got it as he gets it out across the 25, and he's finally brought down at the 30-yard line.
Another one of Marion's many good athletes.
Yeah.
Good quickness, good speed. And they've learned to run this option pretty well. And the quarterbacks that Giants have running the option, they're not afraid to run with the ball.
Well, there's an injured Anderson player down on the field, and I don't think we've really seen this all night. But so we'll have a stoppage here, a minute and 5 to go here in this ball game, 36-0. The Giants on their way to victory number 3 on the season. They'll go to 3-1. You know, I thought what key tonight, Ron, for Marion, we talked about it a little bit with Coach Chambers. You mentioned a couple times in terms of focusing on his team, is that loss last week to Kokomo, was sticking in their craw, but you can't let one loss turn into 2. You got to put it behind you, forget about it, drive on, and I think they did that tonight.
I think they have, and especially since they knew they were at least as good, or if not better, than the Kokomo team. And Kokomo has dominated this conference for the last 7 or 8 years. Kokomo has that great, brand new field, and
you see the Mississinawa score up on Elwood in the 3rd quarter, 47-0.
Wow.
But Blackford. Well, you know what?
That's
this
a
will be
real
the second win of the season for Blackford, who's had some pretty lean years. And I'll be honest, I don't know when the last time Oak Hill has been 0-4, but it's been a long time.
Here's that run by Taylor, and
so the injury there looked like one of for Anderson, that's number 29, Israel Dates, but one of his teammates kind of rolled up on him from behind.
He did.
Oh, geez, you see that all the time in terms of like ankle or knee injuries, where a teammate or someone comes from the offside and rolls up on you.
It's usually something you don't see.
Exactly.
Well, the Giants are ready to play. They're up to the line as this young man, Israel Dates, is taken off. I guess he must be a second stringer for Anderson. I think Keyshawn Taylor has established the fact that in the near future he can run this ball, he can run this team for the Giants. The Giants really are an option team that will throw big occasionally, and I think Coach likes to go on that moniker that they are an option team. Giants are in the victory formation though right now, and it looks like they're just ready to run the clock.
Yeah, after that gain of first down, all they have to do, the Giants, that is take the snap, and actually that's it. They don't have to snap the football anymore, as this one will, the final 30 seconds will tick off the clock, and without a timeout from the Anderson Indians. That'll do it. Well, a big, big night for the Marion Giants as their defense pitches a shutout here, and offense does what it has to do, but the defense was the name of the game tonight.
It's a team thing. but the Giants certainly excelled in all three teams, which would be offense, defense, and specialty teams. Kickers did a great job. Christian Lemon, Sam Vermillion. I think we failed to mention that Eli Lutens has been the holder for 3 years for Sam, and we're talking about some 60, 70 extra points, and Eli Lutens has been there. So two good Marion football names in Vermillion and Lutens, but certainly the stars of this game was the Marion Giant defense.
Well, Ron, we're going to take a break. Don't go away, though. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about this one. We'll have some highlights as well, so don't go away. You're watching the high school football game of the week here on WIWU TV.
And the decisions that you have to make, not just job-wise, not just career-wise, not just your calling. But really, this is the heart of the matter when it comes to if you're going to decide to follow Christ or you're going to continue to follow your own way. You know, sometimes the Lord prepares and tills the soil of our souls for something when we least expect it.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders. And now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Our hustle and bustle lives became so hectic that someone came up with the term comfort food. But in the tiny town of Shipshawana, they've always understood the concept and served it up family style. Here, you can learn the lessons of the unhurried Amish pace from the seat of a horse-drawn buggy. Comfort that extends beyond food. That's honest-to-goodness Indiana. Plan your getaway at visitindiana.com/Bluegate.
Back here at Dick Luton Stadium, where the Giants are victorious 36-0. We're going to take it down to the field where Katie Key has Coach Chambers.
Thank you, Roger. I'm down here with head coach Craig Chambers. And coach, it was a big win for you guys. After coming off of a loss last week and just making some adjustments, how do you feel about this win?
It feels good anytime you get a win. Defense played outstanding for us. Offensively, still got some work, but we still did pretty good today.
Yeah, and you guys had a complete shutout, so on the defensive end. So how does it make you feel as a coach, just seeing your guys come out, giving it their all on the defensive end?
It feels good. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're feeling outstanding. We worked hard this summer on the defense. We had a good game plan. We had some good coaches. So, like I said, just to see us execute the play is just a great thing to see.
And after last week's game, would you say you guys corrected some of the mistakes you guys made in the past game and were able to keen in on those mistakes that you had?
We corrected some. We still made some, so we still got a lot of work to do on the offensive end and a couple other things. But like I said, we just continue to work, continue to play hard, continue to execute, and we'll be okay.
And what does this mean for your guys' conference season? I mean, now you're 1-1 in the conference. What does that mean for you guys?
It's good for us. I mean, we definitely we lost to nail biter last week. Just kind of give us some confidence of getting a good win in, getting a shutout. So I'm pretty sure everybody will be excited about that.
And any other big things you guys are looking forward to the rest of the season?
Oh no, just coming out playing hard and getting the offense to start clicking right and doing the things we know they could do. And it should be a pretty good year for us.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach. It was a great win for you guys and a lot of fun, I'm sure. Back to you, Roger.
All right, big thanks to Coach Chambers for taking time, stopping out, talking to Katie. And the thing I was thinking, Ron, as he was talking is he's 100% right about his defense. I mean, boy, they're coming together. He talked about his offense in terms of needing to still work on some things, still having. Can you imagine what this team could be if that offense does produce like he would like to see? They'd be very dangerous.
And it's not play calling because the plays are there. It's mistakes and it's penalties and it's fumbles. But I tell you what, the possibilities are good. And I just want to say one thing. Coach Chambers is a very humble man. He just kicked the socks off of a team, and he said it was a good game for us. What a humble man he is, and that's the kind of humble men that the Marion Giant kids need to see on a daily basis.
All right, we're going to take a look at some highlights of this second half. And, of course, at the half, Ron, it was a 13-0 ball game where the Giants had done well, but they certainly hadn't taken control of this game, so to speak, with the whole half of football to be played. But where the defense was outstanding, and their offense made enough plays.
Yes, they did.
Hurt themselves at times with some penalties and whatnot, but Justin Johnson with a really nice throw and run there. That was a big conversion to a first down there to Burke.
Giants had a short field on most of the plays because defensive plays like this, the offense had short fields, and in the second half, they actually found a way to score. Defense found a way to score here by bringing everybody, and that Armstrong kid, he just got up and he thought, oh my goodness.
Martin came up with the big hit there on the safety. But you talk about field position. Well, Anderson was just in a bad way all night. They had drives that started at their 8, at their own 13, at their own 5. And the Giants, I believe, could be wrong, but I had them giving up only 1 first down to Anderson.
Yes, and you know that it was negative yardage for their offense. Negative yardage. When you hold a team to negative yards for 4 quarters, that says the defense is really working hard.
This was a huge play.
This is the yak play of the game. This is the contact and getting some 19 yards after contact.
Yeah, JK that time, he looked like he was going to lose 10 yards. He picks up 15. And, Johnson doing a nice job here again that time. He threw well on the run several times tonight. That ball really just threw the hand of the intended receiver, but he threw well.
For a quarterback to go to his left
and
throw with his right hand. Yes, it is. What a hit there.
Oh, my gosh. The defense even when Anderson tried a few different things, they just didn't have, nothing working for them. I mean, you might try to change up a few things, just couldn't get anything working in their favor. So, hey, we're going to send it back down to the field one more time and check in with Katie Key, and I think she's got Johnson with her.
Thank you, Roger. I'm down here with the quarterback, Justin Johnson, and he is a senior. And how do you think your team bounced back after your loss last week? What would you say you guys did in practices and what you did tonight to make up for that?
We came out extra stronger, and first day of practice, we knew that we back on track. Try to get back on track and secure the bag like we always say and get a goose egg on defense. And offense, try to do what they can do. Offense still learning. We're still learning as we come on through the year. We're getting better and better each week, but just got to take it one game at a time.
And how would you say your team's coming together and just meshing together throughout this season?
Well, last year we had 19 seniors, and some of our sophomores from last year some of our juniors from last year didn't get to play. So our juniors had to come in this year, and we had to come together because we never played before. We had to build the chemistry, and we're still trying to build the chemistry. It's only halfway through the season, Game 4, and we're looking forward to Game 5, taking a road trip.
Yeah. And so what does that mean for you being a senior leader? How has that role been for you throughout this season?
I mean, it's a lot of pressure, but I can take the pressure. I've been taking the pressure since I was little. Everything has been on me, basically. Lead the team, be a good leader, and get the young guys ready for the game and the rest of the teammates.
Yeah, and what are some goals that you guys have for the rest of the season, conference play, and just later on in the season?
I mean, conference is pretty good. We're looking forward to conference, but we're really looking forward to the state championship.
All righty, perfect. Thank you so much. Great game tonight. I know it was a lot of fun. Back to you, Roger.
All right, and there you see Justin Johnson, the senior. He does a really good job running this offense, making some good decisions, and still some things to clean up in terms of maybe those option exchanges. But doing a good job leading this team.
Does the word confidence come to you when he talks? Yeah. He is one confident young man. He's a leader of this team by actions, by his efforts, and again, he's humble. We're still working. We're getting better every week, and they certainly got better this week.
Well, the Marion Giants indeed moved to now 3-1 on the season. More importantly, 1-1 in conference play, and that sets up a huge game for us here next week on WIWU, where we head on over to the east side of the county. Mississinewa takes on Eastbrook. Mississinewa with one loss on the season against Eastbrook, undefeated, I think #1 in the state, 2A. Oh, that should be a great football game.
And Eastbrook looking to get that that what is it, a jug or whatever it is back.
The CIC milk jug, the milk can.
The milk can back, and I tell you, they don't like to lose, and they don't like to lose at home especially. So look for them to come out, and I tell you what, Miss Sinewa is going to come out with all guns blazing too. I think it'll be big, a lot of touchdowns scored.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. As Coach Chambers marches off the field, we'll say so long, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on WIWU TV and the Game of the Week.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key. As we start season 13, one of our favorite events, the annual Labor Day weekend Fly-In Cruisin'.
I think every year that we debut the show here, I get to tell a new co-host. Have you ever been here before?
I haven't, so looks like it's the first time.
And we got you here bright and early for pancakes.
Yes, and they were really good. Pancakes were one of the better parts for my day. Started off right.
Believe it or not, this is year 27 for the Marion Fly-In Cruisin', and now you know you got to come back.
So it's been going on longer than I've been alive. That's kind of crazy to think about.
Make me feel old. Well, it's a wonderful event. You can kind of see some of the activity here as the event goes on. People are checking out the cars, planes are flying in. Car shows over there. They're still serving pancakes. It is a busy scene by mid-morning, so a lot of people have to get out here pretty early.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's just a really great event for really good ministries. I mean, free event to just get in here, and then you have the opportunity to get food like pancakes and just get back to a ministry that's doing so much.
Gilead Ministries, second year that they're involved with it, and we'll talk to them a little bit later in the show, kind of hear what that's been like to be running the Fly-In Cruisin' now, at least the pancake breakfast part of it.
Yeah, and they're having a lot of fun doing it. But one of the great things about the Fly-In is watching all the pilots coming in from all the different states.
Yeah, I love doing that. You know, some of them fly in just as hobbyists. Others kind of fly in with more of a purpose. For the last few years, if you pay attention, you get to see a vintage World War II trainer aircraft taxiing in. And then when people watch that plane taxi in, they're usually surprised when they see who gets out of the cockpit.
Yes, our producer, Russ Clark, got to fly along and find out why she loves the air and the stories she gets to hear when she touches down.
They say when you love your job, every day is a vacation. And if that's the case, Laura Stantz has never worked a day in her life. She's a part-time instructor, part-time corporate pilot, and full-time aviation addict.
When I was small, somebody took me up in a little two-seat airplane and let me fly the plane, and I was hooked. I was 7 years old. I started saving my money when I was 11 or 12, and by the time I was 19, I had saved up enough to be able to take flying lessons, and I've been flying ever since.
If you ever find her on the ground, it's usually at events like Marion's annual Fly-In Cruisin', offering a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to soar through the air in a piece of history. A T-6 Texan, a single-engine aircraft used to train fighter pilots in World War II.
You can feel the history. As soon as you sit in it, you can feel the people that went before you, the men and even some women from World War II who learned how to fly and how to fight in that airplane and defend their country. There's just something about the sound and the smell and the feel. It's pretty hard to describe, but you are flying history, and it is quite an honor.
The history becomes even more real for Laura when she gets the opportunity to show off the plane or share the cockpit with those who fought alongside these aircrafts years ago.
A lot of times a veteran would come up and tell me a story and his family would be standing right there, and they would look at each other and they would be shocked and we'd never heard that before. They don't always like to talk about things like that, but when they would see these airplanes, they'd come up to me and say, one of these airplanes saved my life in Korea, or my uncle learned to fly in one of these. And you just listen to those stories and it just creates such an amazing sense of honor to be able to represent the real pilots of those airplanes.
It's a challenging aircraft to pilot, and Laura says she still gets some looks of disbelief when she takes off her helmet to reveal her long red hair.
It's the first time I've been into a place and they're not familiar with me. When I get out, there are usually surprised gasps, or people will come up to me and say something. One woman told me that, walked up to me and said that I'd won her a lunch bet, because when I came in, she told her husband that there was a girl flying that, and he said, "No way." It's large, it's loud, it's 600 horsepower. It's not forgiving. You make a mistake in that airplane, it will bite you. You feel manly flying it. I don't know how to put that, but you do.
For Laura, flying the T-6 is about honoring memories, and not just those of the veterans familiar with the aircraft, but also memories of her own.
My husband and I had 2 children who passed away from the disease SMA, and so every year we host this fundraiser and we give rides with the Checkertail T6, and we donate the proceeds of that towards spinal muscular atrophy SMA support.
Laura knows life can be just as unforgiving as the planes she flies, but she hasn't let the past keep her grounded, and what started as a part-time passion has become a full-time commitment to helping others.
I can't imagine doing anything else. It's a piece of my soul, and to be able to use that for work and be able to do it to benefit other groups, I can't imagine anything better than that.
Well, welcome back to Crossroads. It's the Marion Fly-In Cruise-In year 27. And Katie, this all started with, believe it or not, just a simple pancake breakfast back when for the Marion High School Band Boosters. And you've worked with me enough to know I'm very serious about breakfast.
Yes, I know that. We had some breakfast this morning. You made sure we got some of that. So it was really good.
I said, Katie, have you eaten?
No.
So we watched all these people flipping the pancakes, so we had to have some.
We did. We saw what they were doing, so we made sure we got to try what they were cooking.
Yeah, well, you do have to get up pretty early to get in the fast line for breakfast like we did. But imagine what it's like, how early you have to get here to cook for all these people. We found out when it's very dark still at the airport, it's very busy in the hangar. Before the sun or cars or planes, there's the work and the workers.
You gonna hold the box? I'll grab the trash. You wipe the table, you lay the placemat.
I want you to start making some pancakes though along the way and put them next to your sausage in there. So that when we do get a hit, you're gonna be ready with pancakes to go.
Hundreds of volunteers making thousands of pancakes, most of them a treat. What's your name, Jeff?
Breckenridge, Jeff Breckenridge.
Jeff Breckenridge. And this is the first time you've cooked?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Doesn't it show?
That one does. You've got perfect. I won't say everyone in the line has done that, right? Not going to say who, but it's not everyone. But there's some people have a larger discard pile, shall we say? How did you get this perfection going?
I did it last year.
Ah, experience on the line here.
That's right.
Are you an IHOP worker?
No.
Are you trained in working the IHOP batter?
I am not
platter?
trained in it officially. Today's the first time.
Okay, so how's it going so far?
This thing's awesome.
I know.
Everyone needs one.
I know. If I was working the line, those would come home with me.
Yeah.
It would just be, I would say, IHOP made a contribution to me.
Yeah.
The patience pays off when everyone has plenty to eat. Not a problem for some. Really? Really, Mayor Jess? Really?
Yes. Sometimes eat a little more sausage than that, but I'll eat a little light this morning.
So I heard a Democrat likes pork, but Do you always come early?
Always.
Always?
I get here between 6 and 6:15 usually.
Man.
Get a nice parking place and then go back and probably snooze behind the car.
You're ready to eat, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of trainees on the line today. I'm not going to give away too many secrets, but let's get your review here.
Yeah. Well, so far so good, but the coffee's a little cool.
Coffee's a little cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll send that to management.
Somebody's already went up there and told them.
Get that man some hot coffee and he'll be back again, like so many loyal to this event. It's the magic of the airway that's kept them coming back 27 years in a row. And for those on the line, a chance to flip for a cause.
I believe in Gilead, and I've been on the board for 6 years, and I've lost a loved one to cancer, and they were there for me.
So many people have been touched by him.
It is. It's very important.
Well, it's helping people with cancer, so I haven't been personally touched by anybody family that have cancer, but, you know, it touches my heart that they're giving so much to others.
I want to do this because I want to help Gilead, and I think that their message is a message. It's a message of hope, and we all need to participate in that.
Each Labor Day weekend, Marion's skies fill with endless possibilities, while on the ground, it's pancakes and people. With smiles all around and a little extra syrup, they feed the hopes of a community, and in their own way, touch the sky for someone else.